Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury. Today, guys, we've got a very special announcement to make, and we want to get as many punters on as possible. I want to make a special announcement. I want to run the theme. We're going to run the theme, big boy. Run the theme, and we will start this show. That's right, guys. We want to run the theme and start the show. That's exactly it. Go. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury channel. How are you people today? I want to say a big thank you. I want to say a big hello. I want to say to everybody there, hey guys, thank you for support and apologies to any people I have fucked off, any people I have offended or fucked off. I apologize. I want to tell you something, guys. I want to tell you something. And I want to say this to you nicely. I want to say this to you. I very kindly have got with the fuck up, I said some horrible things in anger towards somebody, and I didn't realize. It doesn't matter. I should never have said this shit. Anyhow, I profusely apologize, and very kindly, I have just received word from Jamie at the Big Brother house. I was on the morning stream for Americans or night stream for Aussies, and it was decided, hey, best if I don't stay at the Big Brother house. And fair enough, I fucked up big time. Fair enough, they very graciously, money sent back. And anyhow, I wake up this morning, I got an email from the Big Brother house Meister, Jamie, Housemaster, and Tan, saying, hey, we've had a bit of a talk. If you would like to stay at the house, you're welcome to stay. Fuck me dead. What a very kind, gracious offer. And I got to tell you, it's very, very, very sweet, kind offer there. Thank you so much. I don't mind taking you up. Now, the money that's been refunded, I've just got to wait for it to come back to me, but I there's no problems there. We will get that back to you. No problems. We also let's have a look here. So the money we can get back to you. Thank you so much. I'd love to go. I would love to go. And hey, we can definitely have some fun in the house. We can have fun in the house. We can have fun. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. It'll be amazing. So I just want to say a big thank you. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, hey, I took what was coming to me. It's no problem. So for them to say, hey, you can come back in the house, that's pretty amazing, because I don't know if you guys realize this, but accommodation in London is beyond expensive. It is so fucking ridiculous. And I got to be totally honest with you. It's expensive. It's expensive as fuck. That's what it is. It's expensive as fuck. And stream is linked. Thank you so much. The Zeal has linked the stream. Is the stream linked? I'll just double check that. Pin the link. Oh no, it's pinned. Yes, Mr. Zeal. So look, I got to tell you, that's a great way. Let's take up their offer. We'll get the thing organized in the next. As soon as the next couple of days, once it comes back, we can sort it out. That's really cool. It's really fun. That is really amazing. So, hey, I don't mind that in the least. So, that's that is the way it goes there. So, as for Ali's, someone saying, will Ali be getting a refund, big boy? Hey. I only facilitated the money for Luxy because he doesn't have a PayPal account. And a ticket, Ali asked me to buy a ticket for Lux. Ticket was bought for Lux. I think you've got to throw that question at Lux. A ticket was bought. Run it by Lux, because I definitely did not make anything on it. I simply facilitated the purchase of a ticket for Lux. That's what I did. I facilitated. So that question, it's nothing to do with me. It is to do with Lux and Ali. And as far as my ticket goes, I can't get a refund. I can't get a refund on the ticket that I bought. I can't get a refund. There is no refunds. No refunds on the class of ticket I bought, which basically the cheap Charlie tickets. There isn't the flexibility. So, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is, and it is what it is. So, hey, there is nothing that I can really do about it. There's nothing I can do. So, let's get back on. Let's get the show back on the road. Let's move forward. We've got Nark joining us. I'm just about to... What does Narky want there? Hey. Yes.
Wait.
How can I help you? Now, I got to be honest with you. Someone said to me, you back me. Are you on my side or
of course I'm on your side. Yes. I love you, Arch.
It's funny, after this show here, you go on some other shows.
Who said that? Ask the people.
Well, I saw that people. Myself. I saw that myself.
I stuck up for you. I stuck up for you, Arch. You don't watch anything.
Okay. Please stick up for me. I need friends at the moment.
I'll stick up.
Where's
JJ? Where's Curly? Where's Mookie? Where are the rest of them? Where's TMO? I'm here.
Hey.
Where's JB? Oh, JB came on. We don't need him. Right? So, hey, I thought it was a unanimous vote. They've done a 180.
They've done a 180. Maybe they wanted to see if I had remorse.
At the end of the day, who put pressure on them? Was it Tan? Was it Tommy? I think it was Tommy.
Hey, Naki. They asked me. They sent me a email. Jamie, the housemaster.
Hey, wait. Bring up Dick Striking's comment. You see? Bring it up.
What comment's that? Driver's remorse.
No, the one above it.
Narc stuck up for you on Watch Nick, Arch. Who's Watch Nick anyhow? I don't even know that guy.
Watch Nicholas.
Sorry? Does he run a channel still?
Are we doing the shtick, are we?
Tell me this. Do you think I should go or not? Go, Arch. Go have a good time.
Honestly, I felt a little bit hollow. After yesterday's stream.
Hollow. What do you mean hollow? Hollow okay. Tip.
I was excited. Look, I'll be honest. I was excited about this London trip. More so Luxy in the house. Seriously. Just Lux feeling uncomfortable. Knowing he's got anxiety attacks. Knowing he can't wear his grubby polo chocolate-covered shirts. Without being embarrassed.
You're embarrassed or what?
No, I was looking forward to Lux being embarrassed and full of anxiety in the house. It's like a social experiment for me.
Oh, okay. Why? Okay.
I want Lux in the house. I want him to be ignored by the rest of the house.
He's okay.
Yeah, I love Lux. I want by the way, I want my 40%. I want my 40% for making you $347 yesterday. Where's my 40%?
Hey, talk to me. Narc, what do you think then, Narc? Would you come to the house?
Fuck no.
What?
Fuck no. Oh, but you would. You should go.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you something, right? Are you
Sure.
are you still disinvited to the watch event?
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay.
You don't need to go. You don't need to go.
That's okay.
You can't let Marcella run all the streams because if you don't go, you're fucked. You know that.
Look, you know what? I tell you something, Narc. Can I say this to you? I have some really bad anger problems.
No,
Okay?
I get it.
I stopped seeing a psychologist earlier this year. Basically, it's
No, it's not that. No, it's your nature. It's your nature. We know. I accept you for all your faults.
No, hang on.
Hey.
I had free sessions. Everyone had free sessions, but they're now not free. And it's expensive. Okay.
No, you were doing his head in. No. Look, you did that. You did that shrink a favor, but you would have done his head in. You would have done his head. He needs to see a shrink after seeing you.
Everyone needs to see a shrink after seeing me, Naki. I got to be totally honest with you, okay? Can I say this to you, please?
Yeah, it's not even the end of the day, but let's go for it.
Naki, I want to say this to you, okay? The honest truth is, Narc, life is difficult at times. Nothing is easy, okay? Nothing's easy. It's not easy. The road we follow is difficult. The path that we follow is difficult. And sometimes, Narc, I want to say...
Arch, you're losing me here. You're losing me here. Seriously, come on. This is filler talk. What I'm
trying to tell you is sometimes in life, it's not easy. You listening to me or not?
No, not really. You're losing me here. No. Look, you fucked up. That's it, right? I know you, Arch. You're not.
What I'm trying to tell you is
you married an Asian woman. You married a Japanese woman. You're screwing around with a Chinese woman. You're not racist.
No.
Right.
No,
and you had a chance with Jewish women, you would, but they give you the time of the day.
They've wised up.
They're too smart for you. They're too smart for you. That's why you don't go out with Jewish women. They'll tell you to fuck off.
Yes.
It's hard.
It's very tough, you know.
Right.
I tell you honestly.
You got to know your demographics. When you get out with women, having affairs with women, you got to know your demographics.
Okay, Narky. Now let's just concentrate in here. We've got a super chat from Jefferson Exotic. Jefferson Exotic, $5. Archie, today I watched a video from 2014 celebrating your weight loss of 4.79 kilos. Narc, yes.
Big supporter of you, Jefferson. Big supporter. You got to thank him again.
He's a great guy. He's a very good guy. Let me say this to you, Narc, please.
What?
Narc, I got to tell you, man, it is a tough thing. It is tough, and it's good to have friends who come on the streams here. I want to ask you something. You've done a little bit of sharing in your life.
Are we bonding here? Are we bonding?
You've done sharing, okay?
We've been sharing. Swinging?
Yeah.
All right. Like you went sucker hunting with Lux.
How do you feel about sharing watches? How do you feel about sharing watches?
Like timeshare? We're talking time sharing?
No, like you join a club. You join a club.
You can have a use of a watch for 1 week of a month. That's not a bad idea.
Well, it's interesting, Narc, because there was a movement, which they tried to get a watch sharing club, right? So
no, look. I don't think this is a good segue. I still want to talk about the bro house. By the way, CB, stupid fuck. How am I stealing your lines? How am I stealing CB's lines here? CB says I'm stealing his lines.
And I got to tell you this is an interesting article.
No. All right, just one sec. Before we go there, right?
Yeah.
Who reached out to you? What was the reasoning behind their 180?
Hey, it doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. I'm a nosy fuck.
Why does it matter? I don't know. All I know is I wake up, right? I woke up and
what did the message say? What did the message
in my box from Housemeister. Hello, Arch. Hi, Arch. Was good to have an open and straight conversation with you earlier. We saw remorse and genuine desire to put things right. Spoken to Dodger and Thomas, and we would like to have you join us at the house.
All right, so you know what that means? You know what that means? Tan ring him up. Listen, you fuckers. Right? We've spent a lot of time and effort putting this shit together. Right? Hey,
it doesn't matter. Hey, yes. It doesn't matter. Whatever reason, Housemaster Jamie sent me this email, and I'd love to stay. Thank you so much. I'd love to go. So I'm trying my best to make it happen. Now the money's coming back, and I've cancelled a few things. So I got to put a few things in place because I had some accommodation before.
All right. You got a super chat from CB. You got a super chat from CB.
We got a super chat from CB. CB $5. Narc, did you tell Arch we took a bullet from Mental this morning?
Did you hear about that?
No, what happened?
He came on. He had a go at fucking CB.
Oh, about what?
He had a go at me. He had a go at me.
For what?
For sticking up for you.
You're joking.
Mental came on yesterday. Goes, Archie should be banned. He should be banned from all the channels. Do not support. That's what he said. Do not support Archie. We stuck up for you, especially CB. He called CB an old fucking flexing cunt.
A what?
He goes, "You're old flexing cunt. Flexing cunt."
What does he
mean
by
something along those lines.
An old what?
Flexing cunt. You know, CB's always flexing in the chat.
How do you mean flexing?
With his watches, have a look. Pull up this picture on my watch that I just bought. That type of crap.
Yeah, okay. He's trying to help.
For you. No. Mental had a go. You're one of your biggest supporters.
Oh, I like Mental.
No, you don't.
I like him. He's okay. I don't hate anyone anymore. Okay.
Fake invoices. The guy, he's a phony. He goes on Marcelo's. He says, if I see Archie, I'm going to fucking smash shit out of him. I don't want him. Then he comes on your channel. He goes, yeah, stay in my room, Arch. Where's the same energy? He doesn't keep the same energy on your stream.
Hey. That's okay. You know this? I tell you honestly, it's perfectly okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Then we've got Angelic, another phony.
Angelic's not a phony.
Yes, he is. Big phony.
Let's just have a look at this article.
I like it.
What is watch sharing? Let's have a look at this. Hundreds of Swiss luxury watches entrusted to a watch sharing platform have been stolen in a case of fraud in Japan. A similar service has ceased operation in Switzerland. Is such a business model feasible? Here we go. Toke Match.
Can I say hello to JD in the chat? My favorite upskirt Gonzo streamer. And the Swing Kangaroo, Kent Daigle, Ryan Joffrey. Have you said hello to your chat?
Hey, we got some great Naki Poo. It's great to have you on.
I can't carry this show. I'm fourth pillow.
A-grade talent.
Where's JJ? It's Sunday fun day.
Hey.
Where's JJ?
The thing is, right? Let me explain to you how it works, okay?
It's Sunday Fun Day. It needs his link. I know he comes on.
He doesn't come on?
Yeah, look, I know it's my Monday, it's your Sunday, his Sunday when he comes on. Okay, hey, oh, great, it's Monday for me. No,
Yes.
if he doesn't come on, I get my days mixed up. I know he comes on Wednesdays. And it comes on Sundays. He's throwing me off.
Yep. I see what you're saying.
Where's Mike the Snake? Suddenly he's offended. Nothing offends Mike the Snake.
It's okay. He might be busy. Sometimes he's busy.
He's never busy. Busy at what?
Life is busy. You know this?
Oh, fuck. We've got no buffers here. We need buffers. Do you need to put a SOS call for Machine Gun Chris? I'm willing to have him on.
I like Machine Gun Chris.
So do I.
He's a great guy.
All right, go on. All right, just tell me about this watch sharing thing.
Yeah, watch sharing. So basically, what you do is, so here, let's have a look at this.
All right.
Launched in 2019, Dials, this is the Swiss one, borrowed watches with a market value of 4,400 each from their owners and rented them out for 3 weeks. 3 months or 6 months. The rental costs start at $150 a month, of which the owner receives 40%. 40%! You know that figure? 40%, Narc!
Yeah, Curly
Why buy things?
Curly probably organised that.
Why buy things when you can share them? Okay. Someone who rented a Breitling from Dials told, I have watches that are more expensive, but it's important for me to have variety. I don't want to wear the same watch for 20 or 30 years. The Dials business model was similar to Toke Watch, but even if there was no fraudulent intentions behind it, problems arose and the service was cancelled. The sharing model was no longer sustainable in the long term. Hello, Marcelo. How are you, my friend?
Okay. First of all, listen to me very carefully to what I'm going to say. Listen. No, this is very important.
Listen to me very carefully. Here we go.
Listen very and no, don't interrupt. It was a company in Japan a couple of months ago that was doing the same thing what you're reading now.
Yes.
The guy, the company closed.
Here we go.
They ran away to Dubai and they stole $100 million in value in watches. Okay, so be very careful So be very careful.
Wait. Let me just insert myself. This is see, Archie. This is what I'm pissed off with. Him coming on.
$100 million, Arch.
All right, here we go. You know what's really pissing me off about your racist comment? That we have to put up with this crap. He can come on whenever he wants, without you telling him you're a fucking cunt. Okay. I don't like this dynamic. I don't like this dynamic, Archie.
Archie, you can check in Japan. This is the biggest noise of scam.
I'm leaving you to alone.
That was actually the article there. There was $100 million.
Exactly.
That was Toke Match.
Yeah, it was it was based on this idea that you were reading. Be careful. Australians like to copy ideas and you would be fucked as fuck. Be careful.
Tell me this. What did you ever consider sharing your watches?
No.
How much? Let me ask you something, right?
No.
Let me ask you something. How much would you charge to share your Le Mans? What would you want for a month?
I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't trust. I wouldn't trust at all because it's
say
very,
me
very
and you,
dangerous.
right? Say a good friend, right? A good friend said, "Hey, can I please? I'm happy to pay you. I just want the Le Mans for a month. How much would you want? What would you want?
If it would be a very good friend that I trust, I would do it for free, Arch. I don't charge money for it.
Marcelo, that's not a good business model, Marcelo.
Well, I tell you the truth, because if you're going into business and you want to do that as a business, this is the worst business to do. I mean, this is a scam business.
You think so?
Of course. Look what happened in Japan. $100 million. The guy actually lost. The guy actually had a. I think it was like $7 million in collection. It was getting for a period of 3 months or 6 months, like a couple of thousands. So it was very happy until they disappeared. Then they clean up all his collection.
You know,
They actually sold his watches.
see, the problem with these watches is it can be a big disaster, because if you I'm just going to bring this article up here. This is a Time and Tide article. This is the one that Marcelo's talking about. Toke Watch.
Yes.
Toke Watch. This is the company that let's have a look here and see what we can say here. I got to be honest with you, Marcelo. I don't like to share my stuff. Like with my car, would I put that on eToro for other people to use?
Look,
They might.
The
They
idea
might
was,
put pets in it. They might put pets in the car.
yeah,
They
but
might smoke in it. You know what I mean?
If the world would be that perfect and wonderful, the idea behind that company was that, take me for example. I have now how many watches? Like 20 watches.
Yes.
So let's say I wear now the Lemon and I wear the Platinum Daytona. I don't wear the rest of the watches. So instead of staying just in the bank deposit, rent them. Anyway, you don't wear them. In case you're going to want the watch back, you just send them to a good cleaning, and the watch is like new and no problem. But here's the problem.
Them so many times, but Marcelo, before they're fucked, can't you?
Yeah. Look, the theory was nice. Also, if they fuck the movement, no problem. They have a warranty. They cover you on the on the service. Everything sounds wonderful until they put you a stick in your ass, and then you lose everything. The idea to convince you to go into it was very nice, very convincing. Like say, yeah, I put in my 20 watches, let's say, I don't know, 100K or whatever, you're getting $2,000 a month, every month. Sounds great, it's almost like renting an apartment. But in the end, you get fucked.
See, what the terrible thing is, Marcelo, is that I think you have to realize something, is that you yourself take special care of your stuff, right? Like I often take off watches. I often if I'm doing something, I'll take it off, right? But if it's a borrowed watch I've paid for, I'm gonna leave it on.
Yeah. Look, I mean, again, Archie, this is this is not like renting a car. A car, there is much more insurance and much more cover around. You can rent a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, and it's still, it's still okay if you do that. But this is completely different.
The thing is, Marcelo, I got to tell you something. I want to say this to you. I don't like to share my stuff. Like, it's kind of like, you can't share your wife. Your wife is your wife. It's not for sharing, Marcelo. And you're supposed to look after your stuff. You're supposed to look after your stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
You're supposed to look after your stuff. That's what you need to do. And I got to be honest with you. This club here, this model, it's working now for cars. It works for housing, Airbnb, person to person renting handbags and purses. I think that's got the same struggle. The problem is, if you fuck it up, how do you unfuck it?
Yeah, and you know what, Archie, you're talking about me
Now, this
and you.
company was headed by Fuuko Kakazumi.
Yeah,
So he ran away, you're saying?
he ran away with over $100 million, man, in Dubai. No, untouchable.
This is the letter it got. Dear deposited products will be returned to the registered address in sequence. Please note that due to our company's dissolution, procedures and rental circumstances, we are unable to provide a specific return date at this time. Regarding the return, we will arrange shipping within 6 months from today, but in the unlikely event that it is difficult to return the watch due to reasons attributed to the user, based on we will pay the amount of damages. Thank
This
you
means,
for.
no, this is a very polite way to tell you fuck you. Archie, you know.
Tell me this: did you ever consider putting your watches for sharing?
No, ever. And you know what? Look, you are a watch collector. Most of us are watch collectors. We like our property. We have our watches. But what if the idea behind these companies is, let's say, finding investors, somebody that is not into watches? You know, let's say I'm not into watches, Archie, and I tell you, Archie, I heard about this idea. Yeah, sorry.
Look, listen to this. Tokyo police were able to issue an arrest warrant for Takazumi for allegedly selling a Rolex that had been deposited with the company to a watch dealer in Osaka.
Yeah, they sold the watches.
Takazumi had boarded a flight to Dubai the day the company shut down.
You see? Archie, you see, cannot trust. Look, the idea behind it is, what if I come to
How
you
long
and
can
I
he
tell,
stay in Dubai for?
this we should ask Mental Jack and maybe even
I don't think he can
Bufaris
stay
to.
forever. He'll have to do something, and as soon as that he leaves the country, he can get arrested.
Yeah, but we're talking about professional thieves, Archie. We are not professional thieves. They have methods and ways how to protect the stolen goods in money and so on. I don't know how the fuck they doing that. I'm sorry, but it definitely did a big scam and
We got another super chat. Hello, Mike the Snake is joining us. Hello, Mr. Snake. How are you?
Hey, Archie. I'm doing fine.
Hey, thank you so much for jumping on here. We have got here another super chat from CB. CB, $2. Archie, read Tan's comment, please. Now, Tan has sent, Archie, will you share your world time with another location, but your bank save? That's a fair point. I tell you what, CB has an amazing collection. Would he share some of his watches? Here we go. Marcelo, would you share your Le Mans for 15,000 US a month? 15,000. Now, come on, Marcelo. We're talking
money.
serious money.
Because you know what you're asking. You know what you're asking. I'm going to tell you what you're asking. What you're saying is that.
Well, hang on a minute, right? Say, let's just back the truck up. Say Tan wanted to rent it. You know Tan. So he signs a legal agreement, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So he signs an agreement with you, right? He signs an agreement, says the watch is on rental. He's got to look after it and return it in the condition it was provided to him, blah, blah, blah. 15,000. Marcelo, this could be the perfect way.
You need a deposit. You take a deposit of at least $500,000.
Yeah,
Well,
you need the deposit of the full amount the full worth of the
Exactly,
watch
exactly,
and have it
exactly,
held in escrow. Have the
Well,
full
exactly,
amount held in escrow, and then
I
you'll
don't.
say, okay, give me 15 grand a
exactly.
month, and then when we're all done, then
Huh?
escrow will cough up.
How
We'll
about
give you back your
what's the
money.
retail price of your watch,
Not
Marcelo?
retail,
What was
not
the
retail,
retail?
not retail. The retail was about 50K, 60K a little bit. Let's go, mommy. Let's go. I'm going to take mommy to the hospital now again.
Oh, she okay, Mummy? We want you to get better.
She's not okay, but I hope she's going to be okay.
Hey, by the way, is it
Mm.
okay for me to come to the house? Are you okay with that?
I mean, yeah, I didn't have
Jamie
no
asked me to
saying
come
on
and
that.
stay at the house. Jamie emailed me this morning and said I want you to stay at the house with us. And
Look,
you,
Archie, I don't have a problem. I didn't have no say about that. The
okay.
only thing is that,
Oh, you better
um,
go. She's getting upset. Okay,
yeah,
Marcelo,
yes.
please look after her. Okay.
Of course, of course.
Hey, can you get
Okay.
that Tiger Balm? Rub her back with Tiger Balm. You know that special cream,
Um, okay,
Tiger
okay.
Balm.
Talk to me later, Arch. Thank you.
Okay, you know the cream, the hot Chinese cream.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, mommy, let's go.
Okay,
Okay,
see you
let's go.
later, Mummy.
No problem. Thanks, Archie. Thank you.
Arigato.
She listened. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye bye. Fool, Mike the Snake. I want to ask you, would you rent me your 930? How much would you want to rent your 930 to somebody for a month?
Like I mentioned, it would have to be somebody who's money's not an issue, and I would require the full agreed upon sale value if the car were to sell, held in escrow. So they'd need to put a deposit down of the value of the car held by somebody. Okay, then they can rent my car for 15,000 a month and not put a scratch in it and put less than 2,000 miles a month or something on it.
What about if they
And
dailied it? They want to
if
daily it, Mike.
if they go over the miles, then there'd be, I don't know.
And they want to use cheap gas, Mike. And they want to daily it and use cheapest gas they can get.
I couldn't see. I mean, personally, no. I couldn't.
And track it as well. They want to track it as well, Mike.
No, ain't happening. No.
They want to track it, Mike.
No. But if you let's say you are considering sending something out to be rented or borrowed, like I was saying, full amount in as a deposit held in escrow by somebody else is a safe way to go. That's the safest way to go, and that's if you're considering doing it. Like Marcelo said, if my brother or somebody asked me if they to borrow one of my watches, I would be just here you go, it'd be for free. But otherwise, I would never lend my watches out. You know.
Would you lend me any of your watches?
Sure.
Like if I asked you, Mike, and said, "Hey, I'd like to lend your Speedmaster. Would you let me wear it?"
Yeah, but not to the extent of that. Like I'm gonna put it in a box and send
Well, the
it
problem
to
is you would want
Australia.
something in return because that's your only watch at the moment, isn't it? You really don't have watches.
Yeah,
That's your
I
one
mean,
watch. It's a one and done at the moment, isn't it?
yeah, it's a tough question because I'm really not in a position to be, renting my only watch out. And that's a tough question though. But no, I must have, when I get my hands on something, it's mine. Like I'm the only one that usually ever drives my own cars ever. And if somebody else drives my car, it's because I needed them to bring it somewhere, or I got stuck somewhere and I needed them to drive the car across town or something like that. But and my watches, my family and friends have no interest in watches. I'm alone in that respect. My watch friends are here in and among the Archieverse, where I'm just content, pretty much. In fact, though, I met a guy at the grocery store yesterday wearing an older Holes case Pepsi. Beautiful, beautiful Pepsi. And we got into a very nice conversation, and very nice guy.
Ooh, that was your phone there, Mike. Mike's just taking that call there. Guys, do you want to, that's okay, Mikey, do you want to rent a watch? What do you think there, guys? If we had a Archieverse, a community of watch fans, would you rent a watch out? How about if you put one in and you take one out? Forget the money. Like, say, for example, I put my Reverso in. I put my Reverso into the group and I could take a Breitling out. And that way there, you got the security. Would you do that? What do you think of that idea? Would you be interested in that? Would you be interested in that? That's a good question. I would seriously, I got to tell you, why not? Why not give it a try? I got to tell you this. Why not give it a try? I like to try amazing shit. I want to be shocked. I want to be pleased. I want to have amazing times together. That's what I want. I want to share the romance of the hobby. The hobby. We love our watches. I really, I gotta tell you, man, could you do it? Could you do it? That's the question. Could you do it or not? What do you feel? How do you feel about this? Is it something you could do? What do you think? So instead of just putting it in, you do a swap. So I might put the Reverso in and I could play with a Breitling. Or I might put a gold. You'd have to have tiers, different tiers. Like the Reverso, I would want, if I put the Reverso in, I'd want a tier. I wouldn't want to put this in and get a fucking, I wouldn't want to put the Reverso in and get a cheap garbage shitter, would I? I'd be fucked. I'd be fucked. That's the thing. So, you tell me, is this communism? Angelic Slayer asks a good question. Is this what communism looks like? Oh, Angelic, that's a good question. Is this what communism looks like? I suppose sharing and caring, but do they have luxury watches in the pursuit of man and machine? Do they have these watches? This is the thing. What would you want to share and what would you want to give up? That's the question. What would you share and what would you give up? That is the question. That's the thing there. I want sexy watches. I want sexy watches. That's what I want. BBW. How are you, BBW?
I'm good, Pontiff. How are you?
Sharing watches. Do you want to share? Put it in and we can share. Let's do what do you think of that idea?
Well, I heard you talking about this and I wanted to remind you.
See, we had the situation where people put watches in and they got paid a fee. I'm not talking about money.
Well, the problem is this.
You put a watch in of a certain value, you have 5 tiers. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 5.
The problem is this. People are going to, when they're renting this thing, the watch or whatever it is, there's a natural tendency to fuck with it. So when
you mean use the chronograph function when they've got it?
All sorts of things. So when the Mustang first came out with Shelby, when Shelby first did his magic on the Mustang, right? 1965 or 6. I can't remember which one it was. But when he did that, when he came out with the Shelby Mustang,
Yeah.
Hertz Rental Car decided, hey, we'll take one of these. I think they did the 66 one, not the 65, but they said, hey, we'll take one of these and we'll
Those
make a
Hertz
special
Mustangs
edition.
are worth a fortune, by the way, Doc.
Oh yeah.
There's a special
Oh, yeah.
version of Hertz Mustang. Now,
Oh yeah.
would they
But the
were
thing
they
about it
available
is,
to the public as well, or that? They
oh
weren't?
yeah, a regular person could go in and rent it. It
No,
costs
but
a
I
lot
mean,
of money.
could you buy a Could you buy a Shelby like that from your Ford dealer?
No, the Shelby Mustang from Ford was white with blue stripes. The one from Hertz was black with gold stripes.
It was black with what?
Gold stripes.
Now,
had-
you know all about lending beautiful cars to family and friends, don't you?
Well, I was going to get to that, but before I got to that, the thing is that when Hertz started doing that, they found out when they were getting the cars back, they were looking at them, inspecting them, doing a brief inspection, everything looks great, and they take the car back and they give the person the deposit back and everything's fine and dandy. And then they find out that there's weld spots on the chassis because people were renting the car, they were welding in roll cages and stuff, racing the car, taking it back out again and returning the car to Hertz. That's true stories. So
Holy fuck.
So the point is that if you rent these things out, even if you have the,
They're
even
not
if you
allowed
have
to
the,
do that. You can't.
of course they're not allowed to modify the car. Like that's a permanent modification when you're welding in a roll cage and doing things like that. So
The other thing is too, people were swapping parts, I believe too.
they
would
were
swap-
also swapping parts out because you couldn't get your hands on the Shelby parts very easily and they were expensive.
They were very expensive.
So if you swapped out something of an engine component, you know, obviously Hertz would have to go through the engine to figure out if the part got swapped out or not. So initially everything looks great when the car is returned and it's in running condition and all that's fine. Then they find out, oh, somebody swapped out the oil pan so they could have a Shelby oil pan. The air cleaners was more obvious if they swapped out the air cleaner, but they were swapping out other engine parts. They were welding in components and then removing the component to return it back to Hertz. So the problem is that people naturally just want to kind of fuck with your stuff for different reasons. And if you don't discover it immediately upon return, you're hosed, right? If you give the deposit back thinking everything's great, and then you find out the internals have been messed with, you're hosed. So that's the biggest problem with these rentals. And
don't you think they could do this? They could do this with technology now. You can't really cheat things. You can't cheat things now.
Well, the cheats are harder, I would admit. Technology allows for being able to detect alterations, but people can be very creative. It can spawn a lot of ingenuity. Like when I read the article about how they were bolting in, you know, roll cages into the Hertz rental cars, and the Hertz wasn't realizing it until months down the line. I thought, wow, that's pretty slick. You know, you rent the car, you put in your roll cage, you race it at the track, then you take the roll cage back out again and you give it back to Hertz. If you won, you made some big money, and if you didn't win, you had fun. And then Hertz doesn't know until later. So I mean, it's great for the individuals. It's not so great for Hertz, because when Hertz is selling their Shelbys, you have to realize if you're buying a Hertz Shelby, there's a good chance it's been screwed with. So you have to be more careful about that vintage car than if it was a regular Shelby Mustang you were buying. So that's all. I would never, as an example,
tell you what they looked like. So they were black. They were black with a gold stripe.
Right. It was exactly the same paint job but sort of inverted. So instead of it being white, it was black. And instead of it having a blue stripe, it had a gold stripe, which I think is very cool because I've seen them at car shows. I like the white ones, but I think the Hertz one is very cool as well. But if you want to parlay it into watch talk, as an example, obviously I have vintage Daytonas. I would never rent my vintage Daytona unless I had a crappy one. So I would consider renting a vintage Daytona if the majority of the loom plots had been lost already, meaning I didn't have to pay as much because the loom plots were kicked off. Maybe the hand loom isn't matching the dial loom, so I suspect things have been swapped around on it. Luckily, I don't have one like that, but I'm just saying if it was like that, then I'd be more inclined to rent it because it's a lesser value watch, right? But if it was a pristine condition, like the 6239 Tanzil tried on, everything's perfect on that one. I'd never rent it because I know somebody might easily screw it up. Either purposely or accidentally, no way. It's not going to happen. So
I gotta ask.
That's the way I would handle it.
I gotta ask you seriously. Renting watches, right? What about swapping good tier for good tier? Say somebody had a gold Daytona. It's your chance to wear a gold Daytona.
I think if it's a modern Daytona, it's a little easier to do it because you know that you can always get, well, put it this way. If it's, let's say I have a modern Daytona with a service dial. Well, then it's not going to hurt me so much if I rent it out, something happens, and I swap in a replacement service dial because it already had a service dial.
Let me say this to you. Before the watch is swapped with somebody, right?
Yeah.
Super good high-res photos are taken, okay?
Yeah.
So you can't just swap parts out. Do you understand?
Well, here's the interesting thing. That's why I was saying it applies more. It applies to the more valuable the commodity. So, let's say I have a vintage. Let's say I have a vintage Daytona, right? And let's say I have a vintage Daytona where all the parts are original. Somebody else might want to get their hands on original pushers. So they rent my watch that has original pushers, and they replace my original pusher with a service pusher.
Bottom line, if the watch is out of your hands, you know you're just opening it up for the world of possibilities of things.
And that's exactly what happened with Hertz when they came out with the Hertz Ford Shelby. That's part of the reason that they didn't do it very long. They did it. It was a big success, but it had problems, and then they quit doing it. Now, later on, they reintroduced it with a more modern Mustang. They reintroduced the whole Shelby, Hertz Shelby thing with the same color scheme, I think. But that's a whole different thing because it wasn't as valuable a Mustang. So, again, that works because it's not as valuable. Yeah. But, you know,
I got to ask you something, Doc. How about, let me throw the coin at you, okay?
And how's it going there, Mikey?
It's going just fine.
How would you feel about swapping for a month one of your Daytonas, which are in the safe? You could take photos of the watch, photos of the dial, photos of the pushers, and you would make a list. Original pushers, service pushers, so there's no ambiguity, right?
Yeah.
And they let you use a 1966 Ford Shelby Hertz. What do you think of that idea?
Well, again, it would be tempting because I've never driven a Shelby 66 Shelby Mustang.
You know,
so
there's companies out there that rent Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and you know, you can go to Vegas and rent basically any supercar you want. It's like $1,000 a day.
Yeah.
$1,000
but
an hour, Mike.
so if
$1,000 an
It
hour.
depends on the car, but
yeah,
Mikey's making a good point. I'd rather just rent the car and leave my watch alone than swap my watch for the car.
sure,
I mean,
yeah,
I think that's where you were going, Mikey, right? It's like
well, I
it's
was
better to
just
spend
saying,
$1,000 to rent the car.
if your watch is something that you can like look at as a business item, you know, as a business expense item, then yeah, go ahead, you know, because you're not. It's like you know, I have a more personal relationship with my stuff.
And that's
So
a good point
I'd
too.
have a
That's
real
an
problem.
excellent
I'd have a
point.
real problem letting anything go to rent.
And that's an excellent point. So
Hey, look
when
at
you
this.
brought up the Mustang
Okay,
that
hey,
got
guys,
smashed,
This is the prices. Guys, look at these prices here. 1 lap in a Ferrari, $400. Lamborghini,
Yeah,
Huracan.
what kind of
We got
lap?
a
What kind of
Huracan.
lap is it? Is it a full mile or what is it? What kind of lap is it?
Okay,
probably a lap at some
$62
track.
for 1 lap. They got a Porsche, Mike. Look at this Porsche.
Yeah, cool, neato.
A
Yeah.
McLaren.
Mike's
Uh,
Porsche is arguably better than that one.
They got a Mustang.
know-
Look at the
Anyway.
Mustang. It's $50 a lap.
Yeah, but you see, all these cars, you know, somebody owns them, like company, you know, owns them, but like nobody, they're not somebody's pride and joy. They're all part of a company. They are rented out. Somebody picks the green Lambo, pull the green Lambo out, you know, take it for a lap. Oh, there's $100. Thank you, Bing. Park it. You know, it's a business kind of thing. Like you're emotionally.
And they appear to be modern cars, so
Yeah,
if
no, they look.
anything goes on, you can replace the part and
Yeah,
not
as
cry
long
too
as
much
they're
about it.
driven under the terms of the warranty that the car company gives, like
Okay,
a
let's
lot
have a
of
look
some
at
of
these
them say, you
exotics
know, you
they've got
can't race
available,
them.
right? This is another car company. They got Rolls Royces, they got muscle cars, Lamborghinis, everything is there. You tell me what you want. What do you want? Okay, because I got to tell you something. Look at this here.
Oh, but they got a
Look at this.
yeah, they've got a
Look
Mustang.
at the
they've got a
65
Chevelle.
Mustang, $400, $450 for a day, 24 hours.
Well, keep in
71
mind that
Buick.
that Mustang that
Buick.
they have there is probably a standard Mustang rather than a special edition like a Shelby or something like that.
Yeah, it's a convertible. Now, have a look at this. If you want a Rolls-Royce Dawn, $1,000. We got a super chat. Yankee Doodle, $2. If you had to choose between an E-Class or a 5 Series, I got to tell you, just quickly, CB, $2. Archie Reed Tan's chat. Pay attention. Thank you. We are doing that. I am trying my best. We've got Yankee Doodle saying between a 5 Series and a 5 Series and an E-Class. You know what, Yankee? I'd be going for the 5 Series. Previous model, I like the 5. Okay? I really do like the BMW. I tell you the best BMW 540i. 540i. That's the 6-cylinder turbo. 2023 is the one I like. That's the shape. Let's just bring this up. If you're picking this is the previous model. Okay? This is the one. I would go for a 540. I think that is the best engine. That is the 6-cylinder turbo. That's a B58 engine. That is considered amazing. The Mercedes, I gotta be totally honest with you, Yankee. Mercedes-Benz, I actually the C300. This is the new Mercedes-Benz C300. It's just came out. E300.
But he's looking at the E-Class, though.
E. The new E. This is the new 2021 E. I think that would actually be my choice. I don't like the new 5 Series. I don't like but the new 3, I think that is a beautiful car. Now, this is 120,000 in Australia. That's in Sydney there, Sydney Harbour Bridge. You know what? That's the two I would go for. If you're going for the current, I'd go for an E-Class. If you're going for the previous model, you're a bang per buck shopper. The BMW 540. The 540 uses that 6-cylinder turbo engine, and it's the previous model, so you will pick up that for a bargain. It'll be a bargain. It'll be a bargain, okay? Believe you me, it'll be a bargain. So that's what I would be picking. I would be choosing.
Are you able to find Tan's super chat?
No, we did. That's where Tan was saying.
What?
That's where we asked.
Yankee Doodle asked between the E-Class and the 5 Series, but there was a super chat about reading Tan's, and I just wondered if you found Tan's super chat. I didn't see it.
Doc was nervous to bring the 6239, but it was a special piece.
Yes. Well, I was nervous about just things like, I think it was Perpetual Time and Alex.
Oh, this one here. Tan said, sometimes I think he has a day job and he does this while on mute on meetings. And thank you. I was actually getting stuff. I've got stuff prepared for the show. This is the shtick. See, we had the apology, the acceptance of the hotel for the Big Brother house from Jamie. We then went into watch sharing. We then going into car sharing, and now we're doing some super chats from the punters. So we've got it. I've got it mapped out on the floor here. The pillars. It's the pillar. ABC, how are you?
Hello, Arch. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
ABC,
how are
how's it
you?
going?
Hello.
I'm doing well. How are
Got a
you?
question.
Good.
5 Series or E-Class? Now, I want to just ask.
I was
Yes,
just
sir.
about to chime in on that. So E-Class, I've sat in the E-Class. I've never driven it, and I've obviously owned the 5 Series. The 5 Series is a better driving position, and they
I
say
gotta tell
that the
you,
BMW.
Your
They said
BMW
BMW is more of a
I
driver.
love. I love that shape. What year is your car? Firstly, let's get it. It's a BMW. It's 2017, I think you said, wasn't it?
15.
What is it? It's a 520D.
Yeah, we like
Is this the
diesels here.
diesel? Okay, so this is what it looks like.
Mine's the M Sport
Okay.
with the black
The
windows
wheels,
trim.
suspension. What color? Black.
Yeah, with the black window edges and the
Oh, blacked out. You got the blacked out option.
Yeah, black.
the
black
windows
grill.
not blacked out. Yeah,
Black
something
out.
like
That's
that.
£10,000. That's £10,000 it's worth.
You know, I've got to tell you something.
Had that.
Sorry, yes.
I've got to tell you something. I was driving it about 4 weeks ago, and
Yes,
someone emerged out of their driveway and just freewheeled out. So I crashed into it.
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
At the front.
And the insurance company is calling it an economic write-off.
How
So
much?
it's totaled. It's totaled.
It's
Is what
total.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as it stands, yes.
So how
Now-
much
So what?
did they say it was worth?
So what they're saying is, so they valued it at £13,000.
Okay.
But what? So they're giving me two options. One is
Yours is a lease, isn't it? Or do you own it outright?
I own it now. So my option is I take 9,800, and then the car is mine, so I can sell it.
Mhm.
Now, as it stands, I'll probably get something in the region of £6,000, 5 to 6,000.
Sorry, you're gonna buy a $5,000-6,000 car?
No. So as it stands, somebody who wants to repair it might take it off my hands for about £5,000-6,000. And
How
I'll
badly
have.
damaged? You got some photos. Can you give us some photos?
I probably can get some photos
Did it
to
deploy the
you.
airbags?
No, it wasn't. It was not at such high speed. So
So it's
So
problem
no,
is,
no
Mike,
airbag. No airbag.
Mike,
is mine.
the bonnet has come up because you know the pedestrian protection control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just know the whole front ends of those cars are plastic, so they can crunch you right in, and you just pull it all off and replace it with more plastic shit.
Tell
and
me
you're-
this.
You're
And the
back
problem
on
is,
the
Did
road.
they
my
say
phone-
sorry? What did they
Um,
say?
Sorry, I forgot to tell you the whole story. So
Yes,
it
sir.
was a young lady in an Audi A1.
Yes.
Oh.
So I stopped off. No, she stopped off about 30, 40 meters ahead. I pulled up immediately where it happened. So I walked over to her and she goes, okay, yeah, bring your and we'll take photos. In that time, she did a runner.
She took
Oh,
off.
she did a hit and
Yeah,
run.
she took off, hit and run. Now, I managed to get the plate, which is why they were able to trace it and
Yeah,
get
good man.
another insurance to basically pay out.
Well, she should have been charged with
Did
hit
you
and
go to
run
the
as
police?
well.
Now police. So here I'm going to do a bit of a Paul Thorpe here now. Police are only interested in pursuing it if there's been an injury, and there wasn't. If I
Usually,
got,
it's
if I
That's
need,
pretty
if
standard now.
if there's
if I want to
property
claim an
damage,
injury,
used to be the
I need a doctor's note. I need proof that I've gone to A&E or trauma or emergency room, which means waiting 6 to 10 hours
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
to get that.
Or you can just take what 11.7 you said and walk away from it.
Now,
Move
for
on.
them to take the car off me, they'll give me £12,000.
So 12. It's 12 or 9 something, and you keep the
9
car.
8.
9.8,
9
and
8. I keep the car.
I wanted
and
to
you
ask
keep the
you
car and sell
something.
it for parts or sell it as a project scrapper.
Well, it's a category.
Hey,
The category
Corbin
of
Classic-
accident is non-structural damage.
has come back here. He said, I fight every insurance valuation with an appraisal and adverts of similar cars that sell for more than the insurance valuation. Do not accept the first offer. Fight with facts. That's actually, Forbin can be pretty
No,
aggressive.
that's good advice.
That's actually
But
not.
to be fair,
Not
to be
actually
fair, I
terrible.
couldn't find an offer of a car in similar spec, mileage, and age for more than 13,000. So,
Yeah.
to be fair, it's a fairly good offer.
How about if you
Um,
go to
so
a dealership? Dealership. Go to a dealership. Go to a dealership.
Dealership, yeah. So what I can do is I can keep the cup. I can take the 9,800. If I can sell the
No,
car
but
for
okay. Let me ask you this: can you drive the car as it is? Yes
no,
or no?
because the bonnet's lifted and I can't push it down.
Okay. How much would it cost you to fix it?
So I think that's probably where if I take it to BMW, I'll probably get a third or fourth a-hole.
yeah, more than 12,000 probably. More than the worth of the car. That's why they totaled it.
I don't think. I know it's
Well,
just the
yeah,
front.
you'd be
It's the
surprised
front
how
panel.
bodies. I know
It's
it's
the
less than you think, but like body shops just have a way of like finding.
But would you be
Yeah,
prepared? Tell me this: would you be prepared? Would you be prepared to have second-hand parts used on it?
that's just it. So I spoke to a friend of a friend who is a car dealer. He's dealt with salvage parts and things like that, and he said, "Look, you don't know, and you probably don't have the time to go out looking for parts and then getting the workshop to take the car, get it transported there, and God knows what else. I mean,
Yep,
look, if someone
it's
takes
more
it off
trouble
me
than it's
for
worth
6
unless you're
grand,
like a mechanic.
yeah, well, if someone takes it off my hands for 6 grand, I'd be like, yes, please, thank you.
Yeah.
Now,
but
actually,
where is that
Forbin
person?
says a very good thing here. He actually says that he says in the
Exactly.
US, if you buy that from insurance company, they stamp the title salvage, and it
Yep.
becomes really hard to sell. Only
Yep.
worth it if you plan to drive the car yourself into the ground.
Yeah,
Or if you
another
plan on
thing.
parting it out.
Yep,
Mm,
that's where
that's
you
another
get your values
consideration.
is parting it out, because a car with a salvage title is
It's
not
worthless.
worthless, but it's worth a lot less, for
Mm.
sure. But the parts, you know,
That's why. So
the engine, you know, if you're willing to take the time and pull those things apart and sell them separately, yes, you can get your money out of it. But man, that's all time and energy that is not worth. You know, in the end, probably
yeah,
just a couple of grand, and it's going to take a couple months to accomplish. Just take
Well,
the
the biggest
12,
problem
take the
also is
12.8,
that
and
you might make a couple of grand, but you might lose a couple of grand also. It's a little bit of there's a little bit of a gambling factor in it
yeah,
as far
I
as
would
whether you
just
make
go
money or not.
take
well, I've got
money.
someone who take it off my hands for 5. He's basically said you're looking around about the 5 mark,
Hang on a
5,000.
minute.
So I'll get
Hang on
9.
a
I'll
minute.
get
He'll take it for 5. What are the insurance company giving you as a payout?
just under 10. Which
For a
is not
payout.
bad.
That's pretty good.
That's
Well,
15 grand.
attached
in my
to the
pocket.
car? Are you
you have
attached
a
to
friend
the
that will
car?
give you 5 for it right now?
Are you attached to the car?
Not anymore.
Say that again.
Are you attached
Are you
to the car?
sentimentally attached to
Oh,
the
man.
car?
Yeah, it was a lovely car. You know,
See, the
drove
problem
like
is,
a
for
carpet.
£13,000, you can't buy a 5 Series, can you? I mean, let's be honest there. It's a 2015. It's probably got at least another 5 good years left. What do you think?
Yeah, so for my next car, it will have to be newer, which means I'll have to put more capital into it.
Well, you
Well,
may not want
it'll
to
have
do
be
that with
newer.
the economy the way it is, the cost of living and stuff like that. Do you really
Mm.
like?
That's why I sent you a picture of my M3 because I think it's a nicer design than the modern ones.
Oh, look, Doc, I got to be totally honest with you.
So I would consider getting an
Oh,
older one.
fuck! Holy fuck!
What?
That is. I'm just going to bring this up for everyone to see in the chat. This is Doc's car.
Oh yeah, that picture's fine
Fuck,
for
it
public.
is nice. Black on black on black.
Beautiful.
Sunroof, leather.
Unfortunately, it has a sunroof. I tried to find one without a sunroof.
Why
That's
do
the
you
only
say
thing.
unfortunately? What's wrong with a sunroof? You want a sunroof.
Sunroof is a little extra weight, especially top heavy weight. Although I don't really race it, but if I were going to race it, the sunroof isn't great.
Fuck it, Doc. It's beautiful.
But oh, thank you. I like it. And
what is that worth? What's that worth now?
Well, the problem is they're going up in value now.
No, there's no problem. What's it worth?
It's a problem in that, like I don't drive it as completely a daily, but I drive it more than my Porsche. So of the two of them, it's more the daily. I think it's worth somewhere around 30 to 40 now. I bought it for 25, and then
What did you
when
pay
I bought
for
it for, I bought it for 25, and then it dropped down, and then it started coming up. So
You know, the
it's
only problem is,
it's
Doc,
low miles, so that's part of the reason why it's worth a little
you got to
more.
be careful it doesn't get stolen. People steal them and pinch the parts.
Well, the nice thing is it's a 6-speed, so not as many people want to steal mine because it's a 6-speed, and then because they don't
They
know how
had
to
those
drive.
stupid DSG gearboxes in these, didn't they?
Yeah, they had the SMGs, which are terrible. You know, a lot of people are swapping out their SMGs for the 6-speeds, which is interesting because you have to be very careful when you're buying one that you're not buying a swapped out 6-speed. You're buying an original 6-speed. Yeah,
Tell
one
me
more
this,
thing.
Doc, those wheels are original M3 wheels?
Except for the chroming part. They didn't originally come chrome. They were polished, but not chrome. Those are chrome rather than polished. It's just easier maintenance.
Wow. What a nice car, Doc.
But
It's an E46. You know, I often think the E46 was the best looking shape.
oh, this is actually I toured Tanzil and Jin Tingler in this car.
Yeah, E46 was beautiful.
We hung out and stuff.
Hey,
It's a commoner's car. I mean, it's nothing like a
ABC.
Lambo or anything like that.
ABC, you know
Yes.
what I would get if I were you? Would you get a new 3 Series? The 3 Series, get a couple years old, the G20 3 Series. Would you go
Okay,
diesel
so-
again now? See, diesel's on the stink.
No,
They don't
I'm
like
seeing
it.
hybrid big in Britain now. Hybrid.
Hybrid?
But they've
Are
got to
you
be newer.
anti-hybrid?
No,
Why not get
I
the
mean,
older
I'm
one there?
anti-electric.
Get an older one.
Get a Tesla.
Okay, so now fully electric, I don't think the charging infrastructure is mature enough here.
Well, you don't
Most
have to worry
places
about
it's
that
not
because
mature.
their range is a couple hundred miles. Like, unless your commute is a couple hundred miles, you're never really going to near capacity. So you just use it like you do a normal car and plug it in when you get home. So, you know.
Yeah, but these
Yeah,
these
you're
people,
right.
they don't have
But their
they
interiors are very
don't have
classy.
garages. They don't have external charging easily done, do they, in the UK? You know what?
can't
You get
comment on
range
that.
anxiety. You know, there's a thing
Yeah.
called range anxiety, you know?
Absolutely, yes, there is.
Oh, yeah. And when it gets colder out, the
So,
range reduces. And at the age, it reduces.
all right. So yeah, that's what's happening in my world there.
Now, I want to ask you, Doc, your M3 there, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, would you let me drive that for a month if I gave you my Breguet, gold Breguet type 21?
Possibly as a favor to you. But see, again, the problem with this car is that
Okay, how about I said to you, listen to this. I let you drive my 330i. You let me drive your M3. You give me a Daytona, and I give you the JLC in gold, the World Time, or the Breguet. Which one would you take?
well, I wouldn't do that swap. But if I was picking one of those watches, did you say the World Time was in there?
Yeah, I was thinking World Time.
I'd take the World Time.
Duh.
You said the World Time, right? So I'll take the World Time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you would take the now. Let me ask you this:
Can I mod it? Can I mod it? Can I mod it?
Not the way you mod things, Doc.
I want to ask you, Doc.
I think I want to change the glass. I want to change the crystal.
Yeah,
Change the
change the color or the dial, and
What else can I do?
like a like a frosted crystal. And
How many miles have you got on the Beamer, Doc, at the moment?
I just hit 100. So
100.
it's not low like when I bought it. It had 40,000. And I thought, well, it's 100, so it's got a lot of miles on it now. But actually, 100 original miles is considered low with these now.
yeah,
What year is it, Doc?
2005.
mine. I had a 335i, and I think it had about 127 or so on it when I sold it. But that thing was, running as strong with 120 on it as it was the day it was sold. It never had any real major
Have you
issues.
heard anything from the guy who bought that, Mike?
No, not at all. He's, I'm sure, happy customer.
Do you miss it? You want to go and see it?
I mean, yeah, of course. I like the car. I'm not. I'm more. If I have the money, I'm more of a Porsche guy or a muscle car guy. The BMWs were all bought kind of out of convenience. Like there really wasn't anything else that really fit the bill at the time. I wanted something fast.
You got the thing you got to remember is, right, Doc's car here, this is such a comfortable car.
Oh,
I'm not trying to put a Porsche down, but this is such a comfortable car.
It's true.
It's also, this is a proper 5-seater. Okay, it's not fantastic in the back, but it's a fuckload better than a 911.
I've actually used it with 4 people in the car, and yeah, it wasn't like they all had great room, but it was comfortable enough to get from A to B and tool around
Doc,
town.
what year is the car?
2005. 2005.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
Now,
I think 2 kids at the back would be no sweat.
Yeah.
I had 2 adults in the back.
Archie, my 335 Archie drove in the back, or you drove in
I
the
was
front,
in the front,
but we
Mike.
had 4
in the front, Mike.
Yeah, well, we had 4 people in that car, and we were comfortable all day long driving around San Francisco in mine.
The guys in the back
mine-
were 5'10", and the guy in the front was 6'3", so he was in the front, and the 5'10" guys were in the back.
Yes, we did.
We drove around 20 or 30 miles worth at a pop.
So now back to the 3 Series question, Archie. I may consider a 3 Series Estate.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
G20 or
Pension a
F30?
problem?
G20
Is the
or
F-
F30?
How long are your kids going to be in your car? Is it another
Now-
couple of years and then
Okay,
they're on
so
their
now
own?
my son's 6 foot. So he was actually quite comfortable in the 5 Series at the
I
back.
gotta tell you, would you look at a diesel one or a petrol one?
So this comes. I need to see what the prices are for the more modern hybrid ones.
Oh, don't go hybrid.
Here's the
Really?
deal, ABC. Your kids are they're almost out of the nest, I think. Right?
15
You
and
don't like
20.
to admit it.
so I don't know.
So, do you really need to get a wagon so that your kids are comfortable when they're only going to be there a couple more years? And now you're
Well,
going to have
let's
this
bring
big
it up on
wagon?
the screen. What we're looking at. Let's have a look here. So what he's looking. This is what I would say. These came out in 2019, and it's called a G20. It's called a G20. Little Dave, $2 for the Car Talk tip jar. A G20.
Thank you, little Dave.
You could get a 330E. Now, it's actually, you can plug that in. It's what they call it's a small hybrid. So it's designed so you could go into work on the electricity, and on the weekends, if you go for longer range, you've got the petrol. It's apparently very, very cool car. 2019, the G20s came out. I think the wagon was a bit later. But
Mike, do these have a problem with the air suspensions?
I never had air suspensions.
But do you know of any common faults with air suspensions on BMWs?
Says BMW is toxic
more-
sludge.
Well,
It's more
no,
complex
I mean,
such that
man,
you might
the
have
BMWs
failures
I've-
with it eventually.
maybe the new models have air suspensions. I had a 335
they've
and
got
a
adaptive
135,
suspension.
and
They got
they
adaptive.
had springs and coilovers. So if they had airbags or they on the newer models, you know, they're a proven method. They're
But
aftermarket.
there's no air suspension issues in BMW. It's mostly Benzes.
Okay, well then, if somebody has air suspension on their Beamer, it's aftermarket, and those systems are okay.
I got to
They're-
tell you something. You know, these are based on a 5 Series platform. The G20s, G30s. These are based on a 5 Series platform. You know what? Look at this. BMW 330e M Sport. What do you think of that?
The same color as yours, isn't it? Same
What do you think
color.
of that? Sorry, that's the same color as mine, Portimo blue.
I'll have to see what the interior's like, see what the room's like at the back.
It's like a 5 Series. It's amazing, man.
Is it
This
all
could
wood?
be a perfect car for you. And you know
I
what
s-
the best part about it is?
The plastic water pump.
Now, the thing is, I noticed you're not going diesel, you're going for petrol and electric. This could be, to tell you the truth, I always worry about those. JJ said on his Mercedes he had the electric and he had a similar system, except his one
Yeah,
was,
CLA's a hybrid.
yeah.
I've-
And if
I've
that
actually
fucks
got a
up, I
CLA
prefer to
the-
stay just all gasoline. But the problem in the UK is gasoline is so dear, isn't it?
Well, diesel's not much cheaper. So my thing is, the insurance company have given me a CLA as a replacement vehicle. So now thing is that is very cramped for my son at the back.
Oh, that is a small car. That's like a 2 Series BMW.
It's like an A class, but it's actually
Do you like it?
lower
like
head height at the back.
Do you like it?
It's all right. Even look, I'm about what 5'7", so even I sometimes hit my head when lifting myself up to adjust my my back position or whatever. So it's okay though. It's not terrible.
I got to tell you something, man. The thing you've got to realize is you're buying this car for yourself.
Beamer's a driver's car, Merc's a passenger's car. That's the conception.
Yeah, I think
Perception.
Beamer, to be honest with you, I think it's the perfect compromise between sports and luxury.
I tell you
Mm.
what, the women always prefer the BMW to the Porsche, just like hands down.
Hold it, you cut
I
out
haven't-
there. You said the women always, and then you cut out. Say it again.
I cut out, really? I said the women always prefer the M3 to the Porsche, just
What-
because the M3 has heated seats. The M3.
Can I ask you, the
Suspensions.
women you date, Doc, do they even know what the fuck it is? Or they say, oh, nice BMW.
I
Do
was
they
dating this. I was dating this Japanese cardiologist, and after I was dating her for about 6 months, then she said, "I didn't know your car was special," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then she eventually told me that one of her colleagues told her, "Oh, that's an M3. Wow, that's a special car. Wow, that's da 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 da." So yeah, most of the time they have no idea.
I get the same effect with the M Sport badges on the side,
Yeah.
Doc.
Women
Don't
don't
they
know what
prefer
that is.
Mercs to Beamers, the ladies?
No, actually, I always say to my wife when I go past an M car, 4 exhaust pipes. That's how you can tell it's expensive on the back. 4 exhaust.
That's true.
The newer ones have 4. How many exhaust pipes do you have on the back of yours? 2.
4.
4.
It's,
Why
yeah.
did they?
They
We got a
they
super
they
chat.
switched?
George Varghese. My neighbor bought a new 23 BMW XM SUV. That's the top of the line luxury. In 3 months, that car broke down 3 times and traded it for a Lexus LX 600.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, what a car! That's a beast.
So
The
his
LX
point,
600.
is that you might want to consider something Japanese there.
Yeah,
Safe
you
to
know
say.
what? I'm down for that, and I'm actually thinking if the kids give me any grief over it, you know what I'm gonna say? Make your own money, buy your own car.
Oh, you mean
This
the
is
kids
in.
want you
Now
to
that's a big
stick with
truck.
Yeah,
This
because
is
it's gonna
actually like
cramp.
the kids want you to be in a German car, is what you're saying.
Yes, about the rep, the clout.
Yeah, when you're dropping them off at their prom or whatever it is. Yeah, I get it.
I
They
got to
need some
tell you,
street
Doc.
cred.
George Varghese, I got to ask you something, man. The XM, that is actually, it's done by BMW M division. It's one of the only cars. That is solely from the M division. It's like the M1. They did not have a normal version of it. This is solely a special version. They are incredible car, fully electric. Do you think these electric cars can ever be collectible?
I think that the problem with the electric cars right now, and I think um, Z was talking about this the most. He knows more about it, of course, but with the new battery technology that's around the corner, it's going to turn everything up on its head in terms of the existing electric cars. So I don't know what's happening with that, but also the electrics, they're really great in terms of speed as long as you're going in a straight line. And I know Tesla's race, but I don't know how good they are or how much you have to beef the suspension up because of all the weight. Because they're just so much heavier.
I've seen Teslas at autocrosses doing really well. So I think with some stiffer springs and some sticky tires, they pretty much handle that just fine. Some good shocks, high dollar shocks, and
they may also mod the car. They may strip out everything but the batteries. Trying to
possibly
reduce the weight.
This is autocross though. So these cars are driven there. Like not all of them. Some of them are competing. Some people get really competitive on autocross, but Tesla's no slouch, even around turns.
Well, I had a friend who
chat from CB, $5. $5
Oh.
And he says cars are a waste of money. Buy watches. So
I've been lucky that I've bought cars that are holding their value. They're not going up a great deal and not going down. So,
Doc, you were going to relocate to Japan. Speaking of Japanese car,
I was gonna, I don't know about fully relocate, but I was gonna spend some time there a little bit. Yeah.
How did that work with that? What went wrong with the lady you were dating? When did that end?
How long was I with her? I don't remember exactly. I probably was with her for a year.
How long ago is this? I think I may know the story if you tell me the.
I don't remember when this was. When was this? This is probably approaching 10 years ago.
Fuck.
Maybe a little less. Maybe a little less than 10 years
Fuck,
ago.
Doc. That's a long time.
It was a while ago. Yeah, this is an older example where, because I've had the car for a while. I bought the car in 2010. So.
I see.
So, when I drove her around in it, it's just an example of driving her around in it. And she knew it was a BMW. So she preferred it to the Porsche because it was more comfortable. Great. But then it was only later she found out it was kind of a special car. She was like, you didn't tell me that.
What did she drive?
She was driving like a Toyota or something.
Yeah, the only watch for you if you drive a hybrid is a spring drive, because it's a true hybrid movement.
Now I want to ask you something. Let's go shopping. If we have a look at that watch there, right? You know what I would
Watchdog,
buy?
switch
You know what
watch.
I would buy for £13,000? What would you buy for that?
ABC.
I need to see what's out there.
Wouldn't you want to get a Pepsi ABC?
Let me show you
I've got-
something, Doc. Look, so we're talking. You got you someone's going to give you 5, and the insurance company's going to give you 9. You got £14,000. Agreed or not agreed? Yes or no? Yes or no?
It's not here.
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
We got
It's
£14,000,
it's
right?
actually more. It's the best part of 15.
15,
Okay,
solid 15.
15,000
Good.
Great
Good.
British pounds to
You've
AUD.
got room to maneuver.
You have got 28,000 Aussie. So you know what we can buy for that?
That's a lot of money. That's good money.
Listen to me. What we're going, you still need a car and a watch. Okay?
I'll be right back.
And a
We're going to
watch.
get this watch here for 25. Okay? 25,000. We're going to get a JLC Geophysics. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? What do you think of that? And then we're going to spend 5,000.
World time knockoff.
Banger. No, this is a geophysics, Doc.
I know, but
It's a beautiful thing. This is solid rose gold. It's got a beautiful display back on it. Look at this.
Looks like it wants to be a world time.
It's JLC's version. Look at this beautiful buckle strap. Come on. What do you think? This has got more investment potential than any BMW has.
Really? Does it hold?
ABC,
does
work
it hold?
with me.
Does it hold its value, or does
ABC.
it get soft?
You are an international jet setter. You told me you used to live in Dubai, correct?
Abu Dhabi, but that was what 13 years ago? No, 11 years ago.
The dial. Look
Why do I
at
think you
the
still have friends
dial.
there?
Look at the dial here. Look at the dial.
Is it hand painted like Jamie's?
This here, it's actually enamel dial, okay? So it's a different technique. But what I'm trying to say is, this is a fucking baller watch. Get this and get yourself a banger. I tell you what I'd get as a banger. You know what I'd get as a banger?
VW Passat. VW
Honda.
Passat.
No, get a Honda.
They're a lot of trouble.
Honda,
Let's go
Honda.
Japanese. But what I'm saying is this is a
It's gonna
cool
get you a
watch.
Honda.
Well, come on, man. This is a cool watch. We got another super chat in here. We got George Varghese, $10. For the great car talk, Archie, my rule of thumb has been when buying any car other than a Porsche, just go with any Lexus.
So Porsche fan.
That's
also.
good advice, actually.
What's wrong with BMW? People are haters on BMW.
It's just that Japanese cars are so reliable, especially Toyotas. They're just bulletproof. Lexus and Toyotas are bulletproof. You can't deny that.
Oh yeah, I mean, if I could get my hands on an LFA, I'd be totally happy with that. It's not the fastest out
do you know
there.
they've stopped making the IS, haven't they, Lexus?
I'm not sure. In Australia, they stopped bringing it in.
Sorry, Doc, I interrupted you.
Is it limited edition?
No, the IS was the little 3 Series equivalent. It was the little executive. It was rear wheel drive. They often had a 4-cylinder turbo or a 6-cylinder, and they were the BMW beater.
Well, you said that they quit bringing it to Australia. Like you can still get it in Germany, but you can't get it in Australia.
Well, they stopped bringing it in because it didn't pass the 5-star ANCAT safety rating. So they said, if it's not 5-star, we're not going to sell it here because they're just wankers.
Yeah.
They're just wankers about it. They were wankers.
They got to keep everybody safe. Yeah. I think you have another super chat there, sir.
We've got another super chat. We got a super chat, super chat,
Yeah.
super chat. We got
Yeah.
CB $5. Archie, repeat with me. Varugis. 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 Va.
Va.
Ru.
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 George
Geese.
Varugis.
Va. Ru. Geese. I hope it's confirmed that that's the preferred pronunciation.
Bear. Bear.
Bear.
Bear.
Bear.
Do you like my high ceilings? Bear. Do you like my Daytona? Bear.
I got to
No?
tell you something. What?
Not quite.
Come on, can you give me some
We're
love?
getting
Why
there,
don't
but
you
not
love
quite.
this JLC, please? What's wrong with the JLC? Please tell me what's wrong.
When I
Nothing's
see the
wrong with it.
JLC, I
Absolutely
know
gorgeous for you to have.
I know what it wants to be. That's
It's a
the problem when I see it.
geophysics. Okay, you know what else we
Okay.
could buy? Okay, you're not happy there. What about this? Fuck it. Let's go for a Vacheron. Would you go for a Vacheron? Vacheron complete calendar. Look at that.
Huh?
Come on, man.
What is a complete calendar?
It's a triple date.
So the Blancpain complete calendar, that's not an annual calendar, is it? The 50 fathoms.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, no, no.
Can't we just find a chronograph for him?
Another chronograph for Archie.
Can't we just find
What
a
do you think?
chronograph for him?
What do you think? How can that not be bad? That's a beautiful watch for you. How about, would you get a day date? A diamond
God,
day
why
date?
is that
Look at this.
Speedmaster so crazy price? Anyway, sorry.
With Speedmaster, that's a Ultraman. Is it Speedmaster? Speedmaster Tuesday.
Yeah, that's got it. See, the original
Tribute to the
Ultraman from
Alaska project.
the original 67 Ultraman, the only difference was the sweep hand was orange. But then on these, they added all the other touches of orange, and I think they overdid it. I think if they just had the orange on the bezel and then the orange sweep, that would be enough for me. And I'd say, stop. But, you know, they put the orange on the indices, and they just had to put orange everywhere in case somebody didn't know it was an Ultraman. But the original Ultraman, it was just that sweep hand. That's it. It was just the chrono hand was orange. You leave that, everything else was the same. So, including the bezel. The bezel was standard. So, yeah. No, there was another Speedmaster there that was like 46. So I was trying to.
I got to
figure out
tell
why
you
it was
something, Doc.
46.
Seriously, you know what I would get if I were you? Look at this. Fuck, it's a solid gold. This is not just a Speedmaster. This is the Moonshine.
Oh, because it's gold. It's gold.
It's
Gold,
the
Jerry.
moonshine, sunshine.
You know what?
Moonshine.
I don't like the
Sunshine.
gold. I like my steel. For Speedmaster, I like my steel. The gold just doesn't seem right. I don't know. Don't know why. Probably because of the indices, because of course those are applied indices.
But do you
as opposed
understand what
to
this is? Do you
loom.
understand what it is, Doc?
Of
Do you
course,
understand what this is?
but this could never even be considered as having gone to the moon stage. This watch.
But they gave some special edition ones away. Remember that?
Yes,
Didn't
because
even
the
go to the
astronauts
studios in South
the
Florida.
astronauts towed the line, and they felt it was a successful scam, and you know, everybody played along, and then they got the watches to say thank you. And it's thank you. Here's the watch, and
Don't
and
call
if you
us, we'll call you.
and
Thank
if you
you for
spill the beans, something might happen to your family. So take the watch and be happy.
Do you really believe that or not?
Well, they didn't say it like that. They made the message clear, but they didn't say it like that. This isn't supposed to be the moon conspiracy show, though. We did that on the other channel in the dungeon. I don't want to, but people should look up Gus Grisham, and then they can maybe figure things out if they look up the astronaut Gus Grisham. He was, in my opinion, one of the primary heroes from that NASA era. Gus Grisham. And Ed White was with him. Roger Chaffee, but also Ed White was with him. Obviously, the Ed White Speedmaster, you know. So Gus Grisham never got his name applied to any of the watches, and I think that was just ridiculously improper. His name should be applied to at least one of the watches out there.
Well, it's. I got to be totally honest with you, Doc. I think anyone involved in that event there, it was. Let's have a look at more watches before I put my foot in.
You want to just stay safe and talk watches.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
How about this? Okay, I tell you what, ABC, you like funky fuckers, don't you? Fuck, what is that? I just saw something.
A lot of people like that El Primero.
Yeah, this is the 1970s. You love this sort of funky shit, Doc. What do you think, ABC?
I think it's cool. I prefer the original tricolor
ABC.
El Primero, but this is a good one too.
Yep.
What do you think of this? Fucking cool.
Yeah, lovely watch.
What do you think?
Very legible. I like it. You
could pull that shit off, Doc.
I tend to like bracelets rather than straps on my watch, and this watch has a kind of a funky bracelet. And that's why I'd go for the tricolor El Primero, similar to your shotgun blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I gotta be totally honest with you. I think the shotgun is the classic one to have. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I prefer the classic too, but yeah,
But this
is
the 70s one, right?
They came out at the same time, right? They were all available at the same time.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, you know, with they talk about the Monaco, right? They had that movement, the caliber 11 movement. They had it in the Silverstone. They had a couple of different shapes it was available in, right?
Yeah.
And it just so happened for the movie they chose the Monaco, but he didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Steve
McQueen? No, he was.
Yeah,
no,
he didn't give a fuck. He just wanted to.
He was probably more interested in the racing than the watch, because Steve McQueen wasn't quite as famous for his racing as Paul Newman, but I believe he was also into racing.
Very much so.
Yeah, you're right there. And
so he could care less about the watch. Just get me to the car.
And he wanted to look the part like a racer. He was a very good actor. He wanted to look the part. You know what I mean? He was.
But if I'm not mistaken, he did a lot of the driving himself in the movie. So
yeah.
So he would have just been like, let me just get to the car. Who cares which watch? You pick one. I need to get to the car.
I really like his time in Bullet. You know, Bullet.
Yeah, Bullet's a classic movie.
Just be back in a minute.
I recently downloaded it with the intent of watching it again, and I haven't watched it yet, but I have it ready to watch. Great movie. Great.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the first movies with an elaborate chase scene like that, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of hard to believe that they didn't have a movie before that.
Then it evolved into Streets of San Francisco, where there was a chase like that, like every episode. No,
It
going
does,
going down the jumps.
They did some other movies. They did other movies with the chase scenes too. After
Oh yeah.
after Bullet became such a big hit, and Bullet was a movie that he and a friend of his produced and everything. They went out on a limb and said, "No, we're going to make this movie." If I'm not mistaken on that.
Did you like the movie called The Mechanic? He did.
Oh yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
You mean
Yeah,
the
that
one with
was-
the one with Jan Michael Vincent and
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. The Mechanic.
Forget
that
the other
was-
guy's name. That was one of my favorite movies.
I think we missed a super chat.
We got a super chat. Let's get the super chat on the screen there. We got a super chat. George Varugis for Arch. Your opinion on the Amiga Camapas gold? That's the white gold. The white gold. You know,
You've never smoked cannabis, have you?
no. Is that a bad thing?
I'm just playing around. It's it's not really cannabis, but we can call it that from now on.
Yeah. I think it's fucking gorgeous. The problem is it's expensive. It's expensive, but I actually really think it's amazing.
You know what though? It looks a lot like one of the Japanese models, one of the exclusive.
That
to
was
Japan
the
models.
department store, Matsushita store. The Matsushita.
Well, the Matsushita wasn't it a panda dial?
yes.
I'm not. But there's one. I thought they had one that was an albino dial like this. Maybe not. Japan has so many exclusive Speedmasters. It's crazy because they know that the Japanese love Speedmasters.
Well, I think who doesn't love
the Ultraman was supposed to be a Japanese.
Japanese. Yeah, it was a amazing. Are you a fan of the Ultraman?
Oh, he's my favorite character of all time.
My favorite character on the show. Yes. Well, I took my Ultraman when I had my transitional Speedmaster before it got stolen, as you may remember.
Yeah.
I modded it to look like an Ultraman by just swapping out the chrono hand with an orange, and boom, it looked like an Ultraman.
Oh yeah,
and people didn't like it. A bunch of you guys hated it. It was modded. It's like, oh, that's how dare you? How dare you?
How uncouth.
Exactly.
I think
how uncouth.
I got to tell you, I think, let me have a look here. My friend sent me a pic of one, actually.
Of a real Ultraman?
No, he I think it's the white.
Oh, of one of the white albino Speedmasters.
Yeah, actually, I got it here. Let me have a look. I'll just bring this up. This is a
albino Speedmaster.
I'm bringing it up now for you to have a look at. My friend just got this. I think it's fucking amazing. It just pops, in my opinion. It pops. I'll just get it up on the screen for you.
Meanwhile, I'm going to send you a picture of.
What do you think of that? It's a beautiful watch.
Is that the same watch?
Yeah. White gold.
This is white gold.
White gold. So, I mean, these are expensive. I mean, the thing is, they have released that new steel. They've released the new steel one. You know, the steel? And I kinda, to be honest with you, I kinda think the white gold it's always going to be more. Look, people say, oh, why would you buy it? But the thing is, white gold feels so different. It's got a different aura to the metal. It's got such an amazing aura to it. And I got to be honest. Well, I think myself, if I had the money, if I was in CB League, you might just buy one of these. What do you think? Like these?
White gold bracelet too?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's
Because it's got the heft to it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's such a
yeah, buddy.
it's I mean, you love your Seamaster, don't Speedmaster, Mike, don't you? You know what I reckon,
I
Mike?
do.
I would like to see you get. I told you this before, but you didn't really like the advice. I want you to get a vintage Seamaster to go with this.
Well,
To go with
you
your
know, I really like
Speedy.
the Seamaster Heritage model. You know that they make
Yes.
right now. I love that watch. That would probably be the Omega I get if I got an Omega. It's the Seamaster Heritage model. I
I
love
just
it.
sent a pic to your WhatsApp, Archie.
Yes, sir.
I think that if they made an albino version of a straight lug Speedmaster, that might be something very cool. But I think the straight lug case beats the professional case. And we have another super chat.
Faru Geese, $5 for my friend CB. Repeat after me. Varghese.
See, I was right when I said, assuming that's how he prefers it pronounced. So there we go. This is actually surely got to be right.
I
right?
remember
'Cause
the
he's saying
first
it
time
himself.
that he posted that. A
Actually,
few
I
days
love
ago.
this doc. This watch you sent me. I'm just going to call this up. That would have to be my favorite. So just out of interest there, this is the non-professional Speedmaster. This is a reissue. This is not an original, is it, Doc? This is the reissue.
This is a first Amiga in space.
First
the reissue
Amiga
of
in
the
space.
2998 from 9. Well, it's a re.
It
it's
uses
a,
a 1861
reimagination.
movement,
Yes, it's a reimagination of a CK2998 from 62. So
I love the hands. What's the bracelet? 20 or 19?
19. And
That's the only thing that pisses me off. 19.
well, the interesting thing that people complain that the first Amiga space is only on leather, but you can pick up. You know, I picked up the bracelet for 150, I think, something like that. So I mean, you can get a bracelet. It's original style from, I think this is a Forster bracelet, but you can pick up a bracelet, original style, and boom, you're there. I could have gone crazy if I wanted. I could have changed the bezel to a dot over 90 bezel and that kind of crap. But I said no. I'm not trying to make it. I'm not trying to make it pass as a 2998 or something. I just wanted to look vintagey cool. So I changed the crystal to Hesselite, and I love it.
Yeah, I love my Hesselite.
But then and then the dial is not the original first Amiga in space dial either. It's a reissue dial from 2000 or from 1999 from what they called the 57. So supposed to emulate a 1957 dial.
When did you buy this, Doc? Tell me how long ago? Tell us the story.
I just got this at the beginning of the year. Yeah, love it. I mean, if I'd gotten this watch, I might not have as many Daytonas as I do because I love this watch. It's a great all-around watch. I wear it to happy hour on occasion. It only cost me a hair over 4,000, so I can feel comfortable wearing it just about everywhere. Probably still wouldn't wear it to California or New York, but all the other states, I think and maybe not Chicago either. So yeah, California, New York, Chicago, I wouldn't wear it there. But then every place else.
Did you wear it to Vegas?
Yeah, I could wear this to Vegas.
Yeah. Okay.
Me and Doc stayed together in the night, didn't we? We slept together, Doc.
We slept in the same room. Yes. And actually,
you came back to my room, Doc.
And we ended up talking until we fell asleep. I don't remember when we stopped talking. I just remember waking up.
We had such a great time, Doc. You know,
that was fantastic. I would do that again. I'm not going to London for it, but I definitely, you know, if I were going to London, I'd say, why don't you just stay at my place? Yeah, that was great. That was fantastic. You know,
There were good times, Doc. Innocent good times.
and not to emphasize anything, any negatives, but we had a great time, and yeah, I mean, um, everybody was drawn to ArchieLuxury, right? Remember, we were walking along, and there was like, which came first? I think it was the woman. The woman came first. A woman comes up, reasonably attractive woman, if I remember right. And
Yeah,
suddenly
very good.
she's like excited because she sees you. And then
Yes.
eventually her husband shows up. But still, she recognizes you, and
Hey, that's
everything.
exactly that's the place to be recognized. We got a super
You
chat.
couldn't go
from
anywhere
Mobster.
without being recognized, sir. You couldn't go anywhere without being recognized.
Mobster, $2. Thoughts on the Slate versus Champ 30 dial sub?
Ooh, I know exactly what I want to say about that.
What's he talking about, Doc? The Slate.
You know that there's two kinds of 30 dials you can get for your sub, right? You can get the gold,
Champagne.
or
and
you
the
can get
gray.
the slate gray. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
my personal preference is the slate gray because I've seen them both. I have a friend with the gold one, and I've tried on the slate. I think I prefer, personally, for me, I prefer the slate. But obviously, my friend, he prefers the gold, and that's what he has. And 30
Oh.
Danny, I think, has a gold one also. Took a lovely picture of it on WhatsApp. Let me send you the 30 Danny.
Here we go. Here's a comparison of the two guys. Look at this.
Exactly.
Tell me
Okay, so I did hear correctly. You said that the Submariner was available with two dials, the gold or black.
Yep, that's
Well,
right.
Is that
But
just
the 30
any
dials, it's
old?
gold and slate.
Oh, no. What is? Oh, the 30 dials. Okay.
It's gold and a gray 30 dial. And a 30 dial
Okay.
is only something from the classic era.
Okay.
You know, so
So
it
these
has
were
to be-
sapphire. They were sapphire and sapphire crystal, I should say, and they had diamond. The 30 dial was diamond with the
with emerald,
sapphire,
right?
and I've just got a picture
Gemstones,
coming.
I know, but I forget what gems they used.
I think myself, I like both. I actually really got a soft spot for the champagne. I think it just pops.
Most people
myself.
think the champagne is the one. I just like the slate. I think
I think
I've
if you're
seen them
buying
both.
these here,
I like the
it's
slate.
whatever you can get your hands on. They're not that easy to get, really, are they?
Well, they're a little more expensive than just a standard pre-ceramic sub. So yeah, they've started going up a little bit.
And this is Sir E. Danny's one. Look at that. It's beautiful.
I'm gonna repost his picture that he just
So
took
that's
today.
a tritium dial. Look at that tritium T25. Tritium dial.
His gems almost look green in this photo.
I think that's just the because it's got a little bit of
it's the lighting and everything. Yeah, but it just almost looks green, kind of cool
Yeah.
that it because it's really blue.
Yes. It's what do I say? Thoughts on the watch? They're gorgeous watches. I actually had a solid gold. I was selling it for a friend years ago. Submariner 30 dial, because the 30 dials, they've got the precious stones there. It was a 16608. There you go. 16608.
Before popping that on,
16803. It was 16803. That's what it was. It was a 16 because these are 16800s in steel. in two-tone, because the 30 dial was only for two-tone or solid gold.
Yes.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
And the 16-800s also, they had the nipple dials, didn't
And I was
they?
about to say, the easiest way to think of it is that the 30 dial was an option just like the nipple. So you could get the
And I
nipple
remember I had a
in
friend who
solid
bought
gold
one,
and two-tone.
and he fucking loomed the nipples.
Yeah, that's just a sad.
And
That's
I
a
said
sad
to him,
thing.
why did you do that? He goes, oh, I'll never sell it. I'll keep it. Sure enough, guess what?
Then he had to sell it
He sold it. And I said, see, I
at a
told you.
loss.
Sorry?
He sold it at a loss because he loomed the nipples. Who wants loomed
Well,
nipples?
he just, look, he got his money back, but he destroyed a beautiful dial.
I sent another picture that Serty Danny had posted that I think is a little more creative than the one you just put up there. I put it in your WhatsApp there. It's a picture he took a little bit before he took the one you just posted. I just like the way what he did with the water and everything in the picture.
Yes, very cool. He's very cool with his.
He's a little bit of a talented guy, isn't he? He does a little photography apparently.
Yes, he does. He does.
Because he did something with the F to get the water to do what it was doing in the picture. That waterfall effect thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the bokeh. It's called bokeh. You into photography, Doc?
A little bit, but not enough to know what a bokeh is.
It's let's call it up. I'll get it up on the screen. Here we go.
Boca
Here
Raton.
we go. So you can see the water, the effects there.
Yeah.
It's to
I
do
just
with
thought
the
that was a
focus.
cool
It's
shot.
to do with the focus. It does do. It's a very cool shot.
It's also the time
Wow.
though, right? Because the water is cascading around the watch, and he's done something to capture that element too.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably a longer f-stop or something. I don't know. Oh, I'm not f-stop. I'm saying f-stop. I mean shutter speed. His shutter speed was
Yeah.
adjusted to get the effect of the water there.
Very,
Anyway,
very
cool
cool
thing.
effect. Yeah.
Cool thing. And I like
Problem-
the watch.
Yeah, it's a tricky. Watches are tricky because if you have a slower shutter speed, the second hand, and if the watch is running, it'll be blurry.
And it's slightly blurry if you look at it. Not terrible,
It's fat.
but yeah, it's nice.
It's
Nice
a very
thing.
nice watch, Matt. It's a very nice watch. And I got to tell you, Serty Danny, he loves his two-tone. That's one of his original watches he got.
Yep. I think
Oh,
it's an
man.
heirloom. I think it was a gift, was it? I can't remember for sure.
Yeah, he's had it for ages. I would really like to get some happiness out of a watch like he does. He loves his watches. And
I was in the market for a slate, Serty, and that's how I know a little bit more about it. Tried it on, etc. Might be my next watch.
wow.
I just say I've got too many subs, so that's why I was hesitant about it. I've already got 5 subs, so it's like you're gonna get another sub. It's like, yeah, but it's a slate. It's a slate 30. That's different, but it's a sub. Yeah, it's a sub though. So, yeah, you know, you're addicted. You're addicted. Just
I kind of have the same problem, but in reverse. Like I have to, buy another watch soon. So, when I can, but it has to be a sub. It just does.
Would you want to go for precious metal, Mikey?
Not right. Not that wouldn't be my first choice, just because of financially.
I was thinking it wasn't your first choice because of your lifestyle. I mean,
well, I would get. I'd like white gold would be, that would be slick.
But I would think you'd
wouldn't
want
complain.
steel so you can jump in your Porsche and not have to worry about your watch and all.
That's more of what I was thinking. Just a replacement sub. Another sub. Probably get another 41 millimeter and call it a day. As far as that goes, then who knows? At this rate, I'm maybe working at about a watch a year or a watch every 2 years. So, I have lots of time to sit and think about it and figure out what I want. But I know the next watch I buy, since the only watch I have is my Speedmaster. Yeah, I mean the next watch has to be a sub because it just does.
Subs
Yeah,
are beautiful. I always thought you should have. The sub was such a beautiful watch, and you had a nice one. You paid high for it, but
Yeah,
you
no,
really
no.
wanted. Tell me this: with the car, no remorse, because that's a beautiful car,
Yeah,
and it makes you
every
happy,
day.
doesn't it, Mike?
Every day, I can open my garage door and just stare at it and take it for drives. And
Is it better than the Pantera?
it's kind of the same thing but different. The rate at which it stuffs you back in the seat is about the same, but
If you could have your old Pantera back or that 930, what would you pick?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I couldn't say.
Value-wise, they're about equal, I would think.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe the Pantera's a little more, huh?
Under different circumstances, but just a bunch of yeah.
I have to say, in all seriousness, though, here's the thing.
I think the Porsches.
How many people have owned and driven both a Pantera and a 930? How many? Mike's one of them. I don't think there's probably a lot of people out there that can say that.
I had a 914 too. But yeah, and I plan to take this on the track as well. So I will have.
Even if you're not driving it on the track, I mean, I remember somebody drove in my neighborhood in a Pantera one time. It only happened once,
Yeah, you remembered it.
And I don't think anybody's come by in a 930 in my neighborhood. That hasn't happened yet. So, I mean, it's just, those are the kind of cars that most people can say, I saw one once. They can't say I owned one, they could say I saw one. So,
true.
I mean, that's something that no one can take away from you, Mikey. No one can take that away.
Oh, not at all. I promised myself that my next car purchase was going to appreciate, not depreciate. And so.
And that's important.
Yeah, I mean that meant that took me completely out of the classification of cars that I had been buying in the past, which were like nice BMWs, and I basically had.
Do you miss a modern, Mike? Do you miss modern conveniences?
It's nice to have my little Nissan is newer and modern, and it's great. Air conditioning is ice cold. The stereo kicks ass, and it drives fine. It gets 30 miles to the gallon, and it looks good. And
is it like a cube?
Yeah, it's a cube with the chrome model. So it's got a little front ear dam and the cooler interior and the cooler grill, and it's got a kick-ass stereo, like fully kick-ass and so I've got that. And then when I want to go out and have like a real visceral, like a live in the moment kind of feeling, I get into my Porsche because the engine's vibration, what little there is, and the sound of it and everything is just radiating throughout the whole car.
In other words, when you want a driver's car, you go 930.
Yeah, I get in that thing, man, and you feel every little bump and thing in the road, but man, you're there in the moment, and
that's
especially
where
when
the
you,
M is a nice compromise because you can feel the road, but not every bump.
sure. Well, we're talking 1979 up to
Well, I
something,
mean, mine
something
is my
contemporary.
Porsche is my Porsche is 1996, but it's the same sort of. I can feel everything. If I run over a penny, I can feel it.
Yeah. Just I mean, I think that's kind of standard of the.
I gotta
Of the
ask you
Porsche,
something,
McPherson
guys.
strut.
because also if I get in any kind of emergency, I don't lose it in the Porsche. The Porsche will handle everything.
I gotta ask you guys something. Today's topic was sell the lot and start again.
Oh,
Mike,
the lot of watches. The lot of watches. Is that
sell
what you
the
mean?
lot and start again. I gotta tell you,
So let's
Mike,
switch.
you've sold the lot. You're starting again. You're getting a sub. You got the Speedy you kept, and you're rebuilding with a Submariner.
That'll probably be my next buy.
I got to be
for
honest
sure.
with you. I think if I sold the lot and started again, I had my circumstances. I found it very hard to find what I like. I find it really hard.
Oh, I liked what I had just fine. I just there was something I wanted more, and so I just translated it, and so I'm just getting back what I already like. I know that.
Mikey, I got to tell you, you got to get a Rolex.
Oh yeah.
Doc, would you ever
Eventually.
sell? Have you ever attempted to sell the lot and start again? Or you can't get these vintage pieces again?
Some of my pieces, I would never sell them because the watchmaker has told me that they're pristine, like they were safe queens, and you don't always find
Nice.
safe queens when you're buying these vintage pieces. So I'm pretty lucky so far.
That's
You
very
have
cool.
how many vintage Daytonas now?
Well, I'd have to sit down and count them out, but I have
Enough.
I have enough because I've got black and white dial 6239. I've got black and white dial 41. I've got black and white dial 6263s, and then I've got a gold one.
You got a Milgauss now, don't you? White Milgauss vintage.
Yes, 1019.
And you got a 1016? Explorer
Let's see.
1?
I do not have an Explorer
Okay.
1. I was considering picking up a Steve McQueen Explorer, but I do not have any of the Explorers.
1655.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But I've got the 1675s, so I've got a gold and stainless for those.
You know, watches with some connection to something always seem to entice me a little bit more. You know, like a McQueen Monaco or something like, you know.
Something with
It's not just a Submariner.
a name
it's
attached to it.
or it just has something about it that makes it stand out above and beyond the regular or the norm.
Well, the interesting thing is that there's no real proof that Steve McQueen really wore a 1655, is there?
He wore a sub
I
a
don't
lot.
know.
He
He
loved
wore a
his
sub, yes. There's pictures of him with the sub, but there's no real proof that he actually wore the Explorer. But then, isn't it an interesting sort of perhaps gimmick to throw his name on the Explorer and see if the prices take off? So I don't want to
That
start
would
a
be
conspiracy show on that. That's
yeah,
a different day, different
yeah.
show. But it's just that there's no proof that he owned one. There's no photographic evidence where you see him wearing it. Unlike, say, a Paul Newman, where there's all kinds of evidence and pictures of him wearing it. You know, so I just find it interesting that there's pictures of him wearing a sub, no pictures of him with the Explorer, but the Explorer is the one with his name attached.
But yeah, it's a weird thing. I mean, in history, who would you prefer to meet, Steve McQueen or Paul Newman?
Oof, that's a tough one.
It depends if he brought
I
the
like them
sauce
both.
along.
I like both of those guys were cool, you know.
Mhm.
Paul Newman was, especially in his later years, he was more of a racer than an actor.
Yeah, he was.
He was a
very,
racer who
very
dabbled in
heavily
acting as opposed to an actor dabbling in racing.
Newman Haas Racing. You know, I mean, it was one of the biggest
Yeah,
NASCAR
yeah. When he
teams
couldn't
that
race
existed.
professionally anymore, then he just was a team owner.
Yeah, Newman Haas ran Indy cars. They ran stock cars. You know,
And he was still racing. He just wasn't doing it like professionally. Like, you know, he was a little. Apparently, his reflexes were down a little in his 70s or whatever.
But they like to let him take the car out here and there.
He'd take the car out on his own rather than taking the car out with a whole bunch of other cars on the road so that they could run into trouble. But yeah, both of those guys are cool. So I don't know. I'd take either one. I would meet either one and be happy.
Mhm.
I think.
I got to tell you there, it's a very interesting thing. They are both legends.
They're both actors who wanted to do their own driving, and
I always respected actors that did their own stunts back then.
And they were both actors who had passions outside of acting. So both of them were into racing.
McQueen's daily car was, don't you? Do you want me to bring it up for you?
Which car was his daily? I know he had a motorcycle he loved and rode a lot.
I'll bring up his daily driver.
It's probably worth a lot of money.
Now,
no, 46,000.
Huh?
Say 1972 300 SEL 6.3.
This was his daily?
This is like after he had 2 kids, right, and a wife and stuff, and was like
Yes, it's a 1972 car. Look at that.
I remember going to San Francisco and seeing his motorcycle, where I can't remember if it was a motorcycle shop or some other kind of shop that had his motorcycle there. Because he did a lot in San Francisco. He might have been from San Francisco. I can't remember, but he did a lot in San Francisco. That's for sure.
Steve McQueen's eyes have looked at the gauges. Is that cool?
Yeah, this is a very basic, not what I would expect for somebody.
No, this is the top of the range. This was top of the range. This was an S class.
Well, I'm saying when I said it's basic, what I mean is it's not at all sport.
6.3 liter V8. 6.3. That's the thing on the back. That's a.
It would be interesting if he drove this like the car in Bullet, like if he drove this like he drove the Mustang. I guess now it's cool.
Drove it like he stole it.
If he drove it like he stole it, if he's jumping over, if he's hitting hills and getting some air in this car, I guess now that car's cool.
That would be funny if he's one of those kind of people that's just like, no respect for the car, just tranny drop it.
But that's totally the way he was. He was going to go out and have fun.
Go jump it, see how high you can get going over these railroad tracks, kind of thing. And
so initially, I'm thinking, okay, this car's kind of boring, but maybe Steve McQueen was driving it.
Yeah, think
with
of the
more
adventures this car's gone through.
Maybe he was doing a little drifting with the car.
Yeah,
that would be something.
You have to check the rear end, make sure it's not welded shut.
I'm surprised that this would be his daily. I would think more something a little sportier than this. And definitely, I would think a 2-door, whatever it might be.
I was thinking Porsche Spider, but I know that's what.
That's
James
totally
Dean
the kind of car I'd imagine he'd be driving.
Yeah, but I mean, I know James Dean was killed in one. But
Yes.
that's the first car that pops to mind. Maybe an E-Type Jag. For
He had a Jag.
for style, like for going out.
Steve
to
Yeah,
McQueen had a Jag.
Did he? I'm just
Steve
guessing.
McQueen
he
had
Like,
a Jag.
he
I'm just
had-
guessing. Like,
yes, he
what
had
I'd have.
XKS.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an E-Type.
It was better than an E-Type, Mike.
Yeah, it was
Fuck
pre-E.
me dead.
Oh,
See,
pre-E?
now stop.
Worth a
Back
lot of
the
money.
truck up.
Okay.
Yeah.
The McQueen Jaguar. This is
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very
It's
Oh
like-
my God,
It's
Mikey,
like
Mikey,
you would sell your
Mikey,
E. You would
Mikey.
sell your E and also your house.
Oh,
and
yeah.
something else to try to get the Steve McQueen Jag.
Oh my God.
Look.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
It's like
Talk
an
about-
E.
talk about
It's,
shape.
it's
This
like
is the
E on
model.
steroids.
This is what the E. This is what the E came from.
Yeah.
It's the
You can
race
see
car.
you can see the genetics. Well, that thing's
Yeah.
gorgeous. That thing's
Yeah.
absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
And so Steve McQueen was driving this Jag, and even though it was extremely valuable, he's like, I'm driving it anyway. He was driving it to have fun. He wasn't driving it as a collector car.
Oh
Here we go.
man.
JD says, I met Steve McQueen last year at the Mardi Gras parade. Not 100% sure he was the actor from the bar.
Yeah, that might have been a different Steve McQueen, but okay. We're not. It might have
I
been
got
a
it.
different Steve McQueen.
I got to tell you, amazing car, amazing times. Look at that. That's a very, very.
Even the
Amazing.
replicas of this car are expensive.
Yes.
Like I wouldn't even afford the replica. So that's amazing.
Well, the the story was that the factory burnt down, and that's the reason they're so rare. They had a factory fire.
Now,
And,
of course, there might have been some foul play with that fire, but we won't talk about that until we do our next conspiracy show.
Hmm.
I got to tell you something there. You've always got to realize these cars here, incredible cars, and Doc. I got to tell you something.
Yes, sir.
You got the M3 E46. I must admit, many people would have been tempted, instead of buying a second-hand M3, they would have bought a new 3 Series, like a 330 or something like that.
Well,
But-
when I got the M3, it was in 2010. So the car was 5 years old at the time.
That would have been F30 then, wasn't it? What time? When did the F30 come out? When did the BMW?
I think the F was out. The F was the V8. Was the F the V8? The V8 was definitely out. The E46 had ended.
The F30 was launched in October 2011. No, that was still the E46 was still the current.
Well, when
E82 and E92.
The E46 ended in 2006.
Yeah, I had a 2008 135, and it was a E82, I
And
think, right?
so when I bought my car, it was obviously used, and I was considering getting a new M3, which would have had a V8 instead of a straight 6, and it would have been more expensive, of course. And I decided, no, I'll get the 5-year-old with the straight 6, and besides that, when I was a young pup and I couldn't I think I was college, so I could drive it, but I couldn't afford it. But I saw, the E46 M3 was 2000 when it came out, and I was like, damn, I
We're
want
going to
one
super
of those.
chat $2 here. Mike and Doc, as loyal soldiers, you will get AC3. Little Dave, $2. Mike and Doc, as loyal soldiers, you will get AC3. Thank you so much, Little Dave.
It's got a little bit of poetry to it in that I'm not sure exactly what it means, but that's great. I think Mike and I are loyal soldiers, so I guess that part is the main part.
Mm-hmm.
AD never calling. What's he saying here? Everything went to shit when Kessler talked Paddock. Boring, depressing, and hate-filled moments. Paddock is dark. Paddock
Hey,
makes
Paul, are we going to talk Paddock, Paul?
Everyone's sad. Happiness is a costly
We talked
Paddock,
a little Paddock
bro.
today. We talked a little Paddock.
What's the best car for a 45-year-old divorced man that doesn't have to drive the family around? You know what I'd get? I'd get a BMW 230i. Actually, I'd get an M2. Get a new M2. I think that's the closest to...
Unless you have money and you get a 1M. The original M2.
But I think for somebody to drive and use, a 2 Series would be... Or a 240.
But it's a 2 Series. The 1M is a 2 Series, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like the old 135.
It's
right? It's a small car.
You know, it's the 1M is like an M2. It's just
it's the 1M.
It has hydraulic steering instead of electric steering, so it's got a few things that are better.
It didn't have flares on it in the rear.
I think they're both about the same style, but you're right.
They're
It may
close,
have different
but
flares on
the rear had flares, and it had a different brake package. And
I mean, they're both M's. Yeah, it had the whole M thing with the flares and the brakes and the engine. I don't know. It might have even had a turbo engine.
Yeah, the N54 twin turbo. Some of them
I'm not a big fan of the turbo engine. I like the straight 6 non-turbo that I've got, but everybody's different.
I've only owned the N54 twin turbo inline 6, and it's an absolute monster motor. Archie's felt it, and it's a fine engine. I think it got engine of the year like 2, 3, or 4 years in a row, or something like that, from some big engine maker, whatever.
We got ABC joining our stream again. ABC, how are you?
ABC, long time no see.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
How's it going?
I forgot the question that Archie was asking us, but now you have to ask ABC.
ABC.
I have a short-term memory.
What's the best car for
sell the lot and start again? Would you do that, ABC?
At times I think about selling everything and consolidating for one kick-ass piece, but then I think, nah. Especially if it involves selling Rolex. You don't sell Rolex.
Yeah.
For the most part, obviously, in Mike's case, you saw a car that you wanted and you went for it. And
in Mike's case, the beauty is that his Rolex was not gifted to him, so it didn't have that sort of sentimental value necessarily. And he can get another one when he feels the need to get another one. Meanwhile, he has a 930.
And
actually,
my Speedmaster. And
now is probably the time to buy, because it's a buyer's market nowadays still.
Yeah. Unfortunately, buyer's market and my finances seem to have opposite biorhythms.
I think it might be a buyer's market for a while.
Good, because it's going to be a while before I can buy a new watch. That's for sure.
I think that what's happened with the economy, it's going to be a long time to reverse it.
Hey, Doc. We
Yes,
don't
sir.
need economy talk there. We need positives. People come here to escape.
Well, that means it's going to be it's going to be a buyer's market for a while, so people can get into the whole watch. They can get into the whole watch thing, even with Rolex to some extent. And I think that's going to last for a while. I don't think, I don't think it's going to turn around super soon. Yeah.
Especially with pre-ceramic.
Yeah.
That's probably your quickest route to getting into
Well,
the
luckily,
Rolex collection.
I prefer pre-ceramic and don't own a ceramic as yet.
We
Same
got
here.
T Dubs joining the stream. Hey, T Dubs, what's happening? The comms, the comms, the comms.
The calms.
What's going on?
He doesn't have his mic. Oh, is he like Narc? It has to warm up.
Yeah. Is it you in Australia? You guys need to get the valves to warm up.
You got those cathode tube setups or something in Australia?
Thermionic valves. Thermionic valves. That's all.
Those were the days. That's
Either
like when
that
you
or he might be shy today. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Desmodronic, yeah.
How are you, T Dubs? Oh, he's on mute.
I think he's still
Are
shy.
you with us?
Okay.
Are you with us, T Dubs? Are you there?
The calms.
The comms. I got to tell you,
Are you watching
starting
the
again, you know,
chat? I'm sick. Are you some form of quasi fucking elitist or something? Are you some form of fucking quasi? You owe everybody an apology, right? You owe.
Well, there we go.
What the hell's wrong with
Oh.
Stop muting me. Stop muting me, fuckface, and listen to me.
Oh, he's gone. Where's he gone now? I don't know where he's gone. I don't know what happened.
He might have been having problems with his signal.
I don't know.
He did seem a little upset, though. A little upset.
I got to tell you something. Starting again from scratch, I would like to do it at times. The problem is I get slaughtered on the watches I've got. That's the problem. Doc's problem is that you can't get the vintage easily. You sell out. My problem is ABC. I get slaughtered on the price.
I actually can sell my vintage pieces, by the way.
You've made some I think you've made some very left field choices.
Yeah, some left field choices.
For those who are interested in a vintage collection, though, you can usually sell your vintage pieces as long as you have a good relationship with some of the dealers out there. So,
are the dealers your friends?
Well, they're never your friends, but you can still have a good relationship. So, as an example, one of the Daytonas I bought, the one that Tanzil wore, the 6239 in black dial, I was lucky enough to get that one for just under 30. And then a few years later, the dealer contacted me asking to buy it back for, I can't remember, it was 40 something. So as long as you maintain a good relationship, if I got in a jam and I needed to sell it, I would just contact him and a few of the others and say, hey, I have a watch in the interest, you know?
So what watch gets the most wrist time, Doc, in the week? So I know
right now I'm still in the honeymoon phase with my Speedmaster.
Oh, that's a great watch.
I love it, and
the first Amiga space is very, very cool. Love it.
I like the fact that it's got the alpha hands. I never thought that it would make a difference, but I had an old transitional standard hands, you know, for a professional. I like the alpha hands more than I like professional speedy. And then it also, the straight lug part, I never thought that would make a huge difference, but on my 7-inch wrist, it's huge. It's every difference in the world, because the reality is the professional is just too big for me. I have a 7-inch wrist. Professional, I think you really need a 7.5 wrist in order for that to be
If you go
right.
3861, that drops right down from the from
It has
where
a
it meets the case.
it has a different shape, as you're saying.
Yeah, the lug drops straight down. There's no overhang.
Interesting. Okay. I've never tried one on, so I'll have to consider trying one on when I have a chance.
Yeah.
I assumed it was the same professional case as, from the 1970s.
Here we go. We got
The case
Patrick
is the same,
B
just not the
saying,
bracelet.
unless you sold a couple years ago, you have to keep Rolex a while to make any money.
Yeah, good point.
Well, that's
So,
true. I mean, if I'd sold the watch, say a year later, I doubt I'd make any profit at all. But I hung on to it, and a few years later, he's wanting to buy it. So
Herman Love says, get a BMW, a Rolex, and die happy. Simple life.
There is something to that.
Love how we leave the comments and super chats on screen 15 minutes after the facts. Interesting. BMW toxic talk inbound from Apes. The only 9:30 mine Snake has is a 9:30 bedtime. Thank you. Some good comments there.
That one actually is kind of funny.
Save up, pound the drum, save up for one kick-ass piece and keep the rest. Has Archie had his morning glass of wine and a breakfast cigar yet?
How many glasses of wine do you have in the morning?
I try not to have wine.
Remember when we stayed at the Wynn when we were in Vegas?
Yes.
Were we drinking scotch or bourbon?
No, that was scotch. That was scotch.
That was great scotch.
That was amazing scotch. Yes, it was, sir. It definitely was good scotch. Yes.
And if I remember right, it was around noontime. There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, we needed we had some good that was nice, Scott. We had a really good time, Doc. I really enjoyed that time.
No, that was a blast weekend. That's a great memory for me. Still got the pictures thanks to Kangaroo who snapped the pictures.
Yes.
Still remember going to the fantasy. Was the show called Fantasy?
Yeah, that's exactly right. There,
you became the star of the show.
Yes, yes.
That's an amazing. I still thought that was surreal, and this isn't real. And Kangaroo and I are asking questions. Was this a setup?
No,
especially when suddenly you're on stage dressed as Elvis and singing. Then it's like, okay, this had to be a setup.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. It was very cool.
Pretty amazing.
Vegas was an amazing time, Doc, and I was really it was amazing to be there with you. You were a great friend. We went swimming together. We had a lot of fun together. We did
swim together in the pool because the other guys took off. Bondage took off. And who else was there besides Bondage when they left? Who else was there? Because by the time we got in the pool, because everybody had left.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We had the
pool to ourselves with the female lifeguards.
Yes. It was pretty damn good.
I wonder if they could see our watches. We were both wearing Rolex in the pool.
Yeah, that's right. That was a lot of fun, Doc.
Yeah, but half the guests are probably wearing Rolex in Vegas.
Well, it was the Wynn, so there probably were a lot of
wearing gold, expensive Rolexes.
Yeah. I had on a nipple sub, and Archie had on the Explorer, and we're in the water there, and it's just the two of us. But there was, if I remember, there were 3 lifeguards. There were more lifeguards than us in the pool. which was cool.
Yes, we had a great time there. We had a really good time, and I got to tell you, Doc.
I'm just glad it was. I'm glad it turned out. Great memories for you. Great memories for me. It was for sure, and Kangaroo for sure. So, yeah.
They were very cool memories. We had some amazing times,
and then we're walking out of the show, heading to catch our Uber ride, when people start saying, "ArchieLuxury," because they recognized him from the show.
Yeah, no, it was pretty amazing there.
So then,
You
Doc,
were acting as if it was just another day. It's just another day. What's up,
Doc,
ABC? Sorry.
Oh, they may have.
What was that?
They may have recognized you as well if they watched the show regularly.
No. It was all the reason they recognized Archie is because he ended up becoming the star of the show, to the extent where the MC was just completely fascinated with him. Had him standing up, had him singing, had him down on the stage, had him dress up as Elvis with a guitar and everything. And so by the time we all left, everybody knew ArchieLuxury. She interviewed him to find out he was from Australia, that his name was ArchieLuxury. She said, "Your name is what?" It's ArchieLuxury.
So cool.
And actually, when she said his name is what, Kangaroo and I said, "ArchieLuxury." We're sitting right next to him. ArchieLuxury. So
those were the days. Those were.
That was a magical weekend. A magical weekend. Absolutely.
No,
So, Doc, I don't know what it was like for you, but it was such a surreal meeting Archie, because he's somebody that I've always ever seen from a screen. But when you actually see them in the flesh, it's like, is this real? He's
well,
really...
for one thing, he's larger. He when you talk about larger than life, he's larger than you're expecting. Because I'm 6'4", and you're 6'3" or 6'2" at the least. You're pretty close. So he's a big guy, and he has a presence as well. So people were coming when we were watch shopping. People were coming up to say hello. When we were walking in the hotel, people were coming up to say hello. And obviously at the show, people were saying hello.
It was a very good time, Doc.
What was that, AVC?
You probably never even get that in Australia, let alone another city in America. Only in Vegas. Huh?
I could see him being even more popular in the States. And Vegas is a big watch city. I mean, a lot of people like their watches in Vegas. And the Wynn, if you go to this #1 hotel, the Wynn, the lobby has every major brand of watch available. So they've got a Rolex store, they've got a Breitling store, Omega store, Cartier store. So they like their watches.
They love their watches.
And so, like one of the guys, and I think it was the Omega.
Yes.
I remember I pulled the guy was showing us watches. He was being very nice with us. I said, "Do you
Yes, we were looking at a Speedmaster. I think we might have been looking at the
Speedmasters. Yep, the newer one.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this. Because I asked him on the side. I said, "Do you recognize him?" And he said, "I've seen him somewhere. Who is that?" And I said, "That's ArchieLuxury." He says, "Oh yes." But he was trying to keep it cool and not make a big deal about your ArchieLuxury. But he recognized
exactly it. The best way, Doc.
beginning
Keep
with
it.
A. Isn't there a hotel with 4 letters? Isla? No, not Isla. Aria. That's a big hotel in Vegas, isn't it?
There is an Aria in Vegas, yes. The Wynn is bigger than that one, but the Wynn was, should we say the price of the suite?
Yeah, it was very expensive. $690 US a night, which is how do you put that, Doc? That is, how would you put it? Expensive.
It's up there. It's up there. For some
Expensive.
reason, I thought it was a grand, but maybe it was for 2 nights. It got into the thousands. But certainly, it was a nice place. It was a nice room, nice view. And Archie had to point out to me the golf course. It's like a golf course in a desert. So that's number one. It's a green golf course in a desert. So it's already got this whole oasis thing going. And then it has a waterfall. So it's it's in a desert, it's a green golf course, and then it has a waterfall. And when you're at the top of the hotel looking down, it's amazing to look at this thing.
Yeah, and I mean, you're in the middle, as you said there, Doc. You're in the middle of a fucking desert. It's just
You're in the middle of a desert with a
incredible
plush green golf course that has its own waterfall on the hole that's right at the hotel, so everybody in the hotel can see this waterfall at the golf course. So nice touch, I would say. Nice touch.
Exactly.
They want to make sure it's special.
Exactly right there, Doc. It was amazing times that we had there, Doc. And
well, I just appreciate your inviting me to stay with you there. That was very
well, I
generous.
said to you, if you haven't got, because we had 2 double beds in the room,
2 king size beds.
Yes. And I just said to Doc, hey, don't waste your money on a booking. I got a beautiful room. I've got
It meant I could jump up and down on the bed, on the king bed, and it didn't disturb Archie. So it's great.
Oh boy. Is TW trying to get in? He's not best pleased in the comments.
He's just being a complete cunt. What videos do I have of TWs there anyhow?
Was there one of you in the restaurant with him, or those just photos?
I can take anything down. Just ask me nicely and don't be such a cunt about things. And I'm happy to take any video you don't want there down. I can take it down. I don't want to be okay. That's fine. That's no problems. We can easily do that.
But
no problem.
Keeping in mind, of course, that you're doing that because you're being nice. Because it does take a bit of effort to try to go through and find all the videos, right?
I think he's referring to on the. I'll take it down straight away for him if he's just being very difficult, and that's okay. You don't want your video up? We'll take it down. No problems.
Look, Arch.
He comes on screaming.
Look, it's still quite raw for people, and I think it will take time for this to blow over, wounds to heal. I'm partially optimistic that in the next 2.5 weeks it'll blow over enough for you to come over to London. But
sure,
let's see.
Look, I tell you what, right? I very graciously, Jamie's asked me to come to the house. I'm more than happy to come to the house. If they don't want me to, that's okay. It's okay. Look, I'm happy just to, if you prefer me not to go, that's okay. There's no worries. Have a think about it. There is no rush. Now, I've actually, those videos with T-dubs in them, they are all down. And I tell you what, why don't I take the methy ones down too? because Methy probably wants them off as well. We can do that. Just doing that as we speak. Doing that now. Take that down. Okay, so to my knowledge, the Methy ones are private and the TW ones are also, that was a dinner paid for by Apes. Private, 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 all done. No problems, it's done. Okay, so that's all removed for you. You're not happy with me? That's okay. No problems. No problems. They're down, T-dubs. So why don't you just fuck off then? Okay? You wanted them taken off. They're gone. That's it. Okay? No problems. I mean, we originally had the problem. We bought tickets for you. You didn't want to go. That's okay. That's okay. We handled everything. So you wanted a video taken down. If anyone feels they want a video taken down,
did LA Meth Witch ask for you to remove his videos? I don't remember that.
Well, I just thought, well, whilst I was there, those videos were all in the same group.
He's saying he's a big fan in the maybe I'm misunderstanding. It could be sarcasm, but I mean,
okay.
As far as I mean, you got to remember that wasn't it LA Meth Witch that you were really worried about him and you went and visited him and all of that? Am I thinking about the right person?
Okay. LA.
So I think actions speak a lot more than words and something like that.
Yes. Okay. He says no. Okay. I'll put those ones back on there. No problems. T-dubs, you just got to ask me nicely. Don't come on here screaming and huffing and being the big fucking... you want something removed? Just ask me, remove. Just ask me nicely, and it's done. Don't just bark orders like a complete asshole to me. You want it off? Okay, I'll put Methy's ones back on there. If you want something removed, I'm happy. If anyone feels that way, I'm happy to remove anything for anyone. Doesn't matter. Okay, the Methy ones are back. Hopefully that's what you guys wanted to have there. So no problems. All done. I hope you can be happy with that. I hope you're happy. Okay,
well, you know what? You can't please all the people all the time. So you just can do the best you can. You know?
Yeah. Look, I understand. If you're not happy with something, I can remove anything you want there. We got Methy on there. Hey, Methy, how are you?
Hey, Arch, what's going on?
Hey, nothing. Did you want your video made private, or do you want me to leave it up on my channel?
Nah, leave it up, Arch. I'm just doing a workout, and, like, I tuned in. Dude, I'm your biggest fan. Like, you're my favorite streamer of all time, for real.
Hey, thank you, man.
Mike doesn't like hearing it, but you're his favorite character on the show.
I missed this morning's stream. I've been out. Yeah, my mum locked her house. My mum locked her keys out of the house, so I've been breaking into my... Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's
but,
always fun climbing through a window, isn't it?
Oh, man. I just turned 40 and I can feel it. Like, I had to get through the window and fucking hurt my knees, man, on the window ledge.
Oh,
really? I thought you were younger than that.
No, I just turned 40.
Good for you.
Yeah. So what happened to TW? Is he upset with the gag that went wrong?
I don't know. I took him. I had some videos. Someone paid for me to take him out for a meal. He just wants to express he's upset. I said, okay, we'll remove any videos you want, but just ask me nicely and I will take it down. That's all. That's it. So Hey, man, peace.
I like that joke of yours, AVC, by the way. That's a sort of a Mensa level joke, but I like it. Sorry to interrupt.
Hey, that's okay. Look, I tell you what. You know what, guys? I've still got a couple of days with no rush to confirm the house booking for Big Brother. And
well, the interesting thing, though, is you're between a rock and a hard spot in a sense that if you go to London, it's actually, you know, you're losing revenue from your streaming at your home base. So really going to London is just for the fun of going. If it's not fun, you'd be better off not going.
Hey, that could be a good point. Let's see how it pans out. If they're not happy, that's okay. That's okay. It's okay.
Well, it's not just if they're not happy, it's also if you're not happy. If you're not happy with the vibe,
yeah,
maybe it's better just to stay home and make money.
We'll see. Methies, it's great to have you on there, man. How is your channel going?
Oh yeah, not too bad. Arch, I'm having a bit of an identity crisis. I had it as like Methy Talk Watches, and then people were saying that YouTube wouldn't like that name, so I just changed it to LA Live. But I'll still.
Why wouldn't they like that name?
Sorry.
Why would they not like Methy watches?
Because it's like
because of meth, the drug. Sorry, yeah. They won't like it. Yeah, they won't like it. They won't like it. They won't like it. When I said it out loud, I went, "Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's not good."
What do you think, Arch? What name should I go by?
Oh shit!
It can't be Methy.
But you know what? It did when I typed in Methy Talk Watches, it would find the channel straight away. But when I type in LA Live, it just brings up like LA traffic and stuff. So
what about switching?
How about LA Metwitch? LA Metwitch.
The original LA Metwitch watches.
No, Met M-E-T, Metwitch, LA Metwitch. It could be like a play on words there.
Hey Arch, well, I'm gonna think about if I use my original account. I've got 8,000 subs there. Like I didn't have any dramas getting into the algorithm with my LA Methwitch name, so I think just use Yeah, they didn't care. YouTube's full of degenerate stuff anyway. Like
LA Methwitch doesn't sound like meth the drug anymore because it sounds like something else.
But I would make it LA Metwitch.
Well, but the difference also though is if you've already got 8,000,
you don't want to invite trouble. But you can rename a channel. You can easily rename it.
But what I was going to say is if you already have 8,000, if they had a problem with that name, they would have said so by now because you've got 8,000 subs.
Yeah,
they would have identified it and said no, this is not good.
Yeah, no, they didn't. So
yeah, I think it's because it's clearly not the same as, you know, the drug, you know?
Yeah, it's just a troll account. I started that troll account to troll this YouTuber in America. Like my friend, his girlfriend was like a drug addict. And when they broke up, I like pretended to be her and I just started trolling the ex-boyfriend, just stupid shit. And I had so much fun trolling. I just stuck with that account, you know? And here I am.
That's okay, man. Guys, that is the show for today. I want to thank
before you thank everybody, a reminder to all the folks who are watching to at least hit the thumb up and show appreciation for ArchieLuxury and the ArchieLuxury live stream.
And Methy, it's great to see you there, man. We will any way we can help you, I'm more than happy to help you out there. So, hey, streaming is a great way to go. Give it a shot. You never know. You've got a great pad there in Cairns. So, hey, why not take advantage of? I told you got a beautiful. Your little house there is beautiful, man. I fucking jealous. I'd like to have no wife or kids, have a beautiful pad, man. You are laughing.
Is Cairns in Tasmania?
Yes.
At the pontiff in this chair.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Jefferson,
Sorry.
I want to thank the people who super chatted today. Thank you so much. Let's go through them. Jefferson Exotic, thank you so much. CB, thank you for super chatting. I really appreciate. He made a number of super chats, and that is CB again. CB, thank you so much for your super chats. I appreciate that. CB again, thank you so much. We've got Yankee Doodle. Thank you so much. We've got Little Dave. Little Dave, thank you so much for your super chat there. We also had George Varghese. George Varghese. Thank you so much. CB again. CB, thank you so much for super chatting. George Varghese again. CB again. George Varghese again. George Varghese again. Mobster, thank you so much, Mobster. That is very, very kind. We had Little Dave. Thank you, Little Dave. And we had Mobster, new member. Thank you so much. Guys, that's the show for today. We're linking to JJ's. JJ, great guy.
Maybe maybe for today's show, you should also acknowledge the members who are, what was the levels? The precious metal
Yes.
members.
Yes. Let's have a look there and find those.
That's usually a Bear thing, but in honor of Bear not here at the moment.
Yes. No, certainly we can do that there. Let me get into that module. I'll get into that module. Let me find the module. I'll find our module. Let's have a look at our module. We've got silver level, no biggie sell, gold level, the watch colony. We have got gold level, private info, platinum, Malik diamond, ghetto matte, silver, Tiktology silver, Denito silver, 3HR silver, Madman gold, Doc BBR silver, Sirocco sales silver, Wishful thinking silver, Nelson Oliveira platinum, Joseph D silver, AC Morgan silver. We have got Pavel gold, Johnny Diamond silver, Speedy Alex silver, and we've also got some special people, Bahrain watch collector silver. Guys, I thank you for being members. I thank you for persevering with us and enjoying the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we will see you tomorrow. Forbin Colossus, I am a member. Thank you. Thank you, Forbin Colossus. Okay. See you later, guys. Linking to JJ stream now.
And don't forget to wear your watches.
Upvote.